So you clicked on this video because you could see it's a 3-hour complete course on social media. My name is Ryan Maya. I scaled my e-commerce business to 8 figures plus using social media. I've also scaled my personal brand to get YouTube videos with millions and millions of views. This is a course that I created and have sold before, and I'm giving it to you absolutely free. In the next 3 hours, you're gonna learn some pretty cool things like understanding each social media's purpose and what type of content to post to each platform. You're gonna learn how to come up with the best video ideas, how to structure your videos and the content inside them, basic film equipment and advanced film equipment and how to use it all, what to say when you actually press record and start filming yourself, what to actually say in the videos. You're gonna learn short form editing, you're gonna learn long form editing, you're gonna learn how to add captions to your videos and a whole bunch more. Again, this is all free and it's 3 hours. So grab a pen and a paper. I promise you, this is gonna be the most in-depth content creation course that you've ever seen, absolutely free. All you can do just to thank me is like and subscribe, shoot me a follow, and hope you guys enjoy and blow your personal brand and your businesses up. If you have any questions on any of this, my Instagram's down below, just shoot me a DM. Guys, enjoy, learn something, and blow up your business. Hey, welcome and congratulations on making it inside the Content University. I am your host, Ryan Maya. I'm gonna be with you from beginning to end. And my goal here is to get you millions and millions of views to help you make more money, plain and simple, on all social media channels. So welcome to the Content University. This whole course is going to be a mixture of some screen share, some slides, some actual video, presentations, actual hands-on recordings and strategies and specific things that you need to know. So whether you're a beginner or you've done this before, I guarantee you whatever's inside this program is going to help excel you to that next level. So let's just go straight into the course. Welcome to the Content University. So like I said, my goal is to teach you how to attract your ideal customer, your ideal viewer, and your ideal audience through content on social media platforms, allowing you to build a large and loyal following, which again will lead to making more money than ever. The bigger you can blow social media up, the more money you will make. Inside the program, you're gonna learn the strategy behind TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You're gonna learn how to get an audience to trust you and become loyal to you and become a real follower. How to create viral content that gets millions upon millions of views on all platforms. How to create long form video and short form video. How to film yourself with minimal gear or advanced gear, how to edit video, and how to turn social media into actual dollars in the bank. That is the whole goal here, because social media looks pretty, but unless it improves your life somehow or you can make more money from it, to me means absolutely nothing. And I think that's why you're here, is to build some sort of business, build some sort of following to monetize. So most importantly, I'm going to explain to you why content is king. You might think you know why content is important, but this is the actual reason content is king. So number one, the more people who know you, the more people will flow you. What does that mean? In business, it's not the best product that is the best and makes the most money. It's not the best salesperson that makes the most money. It's the person who is most known, the best marketer, who people know, like everyone knows who that person is. That is who is going to make the most money. So the more people that know you, the more people that know your name, who you are, the more people that are going to flow money your way. They're going to buy from you. They're going to purchase from you. They're going to trust you and do business with you. So that's the whole purpose of content, is to get your name out there and get you in front of your ideal customer and viewer to build that loyal following so you can make money. That's the whole point. Make videos once and then reach millions of people over and over. So content leverages scale, right? Let's say you're a physical therapist. You can, in person, really see only one person at a time, right? You can only help one person on their back injury. But if you created content like a YouTube video on how to treat your back injury, 3 physical therapy exercises, and post that video on YouTube, you can now reach millions of people multiple times, help millions of people, and it only took the same amount of time on you. Whereas if you had 10 clients in person, you had to help them. That's an outreach. That's 10 hours of your time. That one video can generate multiple views over and over again with only a specific amount of time that you put in. So Content creates scale. It creates leverage on your part. And number 3, content is king because it's going to bring you new opportunities, new business opportunities, new personal opportunities. It's going to allow you to meet new people. So if you're in a specific field or niche, if you become successful with content, you're going to be able to meet whoever you want in your field. For example, I would say in my niche specifically, right, I'm in business, finance, e-commerce. I would probably one day want to meet, I don't know, Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos. If I maximize my ability to create content in this niche and space, I guarantee you someday it will get so big that I'll be able to meet my idols and meet new opportunities and have new opportunities presented to me because of the platform and content and audience that I've built. And that all will eventually equal new money. So content is king because it literally can change your business. It can change your personal life and change everything that's going on around you because of the impact and power and audience that you're going to create for yourself. So I want to take this time for you to understand the difference between long form and short form content. So these are defined in their own individual ways, and they're on their own individual platforms, and they're all used specifically for something. So first, let's start with short form. What actually is short form content? So short form content can be defined as TikToks, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, which is pretty new, and YouTube Shorts. Typically, these videos are going to be 60 seconds or less, hence the term short form content, right? You're not making hours and hours of video for short form content. It's 60 seconds or less. The power of short form content is it's easier to get more views than long form, just the way the platforms are working and the way they're designed right now. Short form content has the viral effect, meaning it's a lot easier to go viral on the short form content platforms and using short form content. So long form and short form, if you want to go viral and get more views faster, short form is going to be your best friend here. And short form is great for getting attention, right? The reason it's great for getting attention is because you can reach more people. So like I said before, the more people that know you, the more people that flow you. So short form content is great for getting more attention. You can go broad on your video topics and bring more people into your social media funnel. I'm going to be referring to the social media funnel a lot. So just think of short form is going to be at the top of your funnel. Now let's get into long form content and what it is. So long form content is typically known as YouTube and podcasts. It's going to be at least 2 minutes long. So short form was under 60 seconds. Long form content is at least 2 minutes long. If you're gonna, that's for a YouTube video. If you're gonna film a podcast, I'd say most podcasts are at least 20 minutes long. Some nowadays are 30 minutes to an hour. I've seen some go up to 2.5 hours, 3 hours, but at least 20 minutes. Long form content is always filmed horizontally, sideways. Like how I'm filming this video right here is sideways. Most YouTube videos are filmed sideways. And the beauty of long form content, it has the most impact in terms of building a connection with the viewer. I'll touch more on that. So I'm going to explain what each of the platforms for short form content and their purpose and what they're good for. So let's start with TikTok, the newest social media platform. It's not really new anymore, but still the newest. So what TikTok is best for is it's by far the easiest platform to go viral on and get the most views. The way their algorithm works is they push out as much random content as possible, and the content that gets, or the content that's quality and has that viral effect, which I'll teach you later, it's going to go viral. They basically, the way their algorithm works is they take a piece of content and show it to a random audience, and then from there, if that audience likes it, they'll show it to more and more people. So you can literally start from 0 on TikTok and go to 1 million views in just one post. I've done it. It happens. 7 to 30 second videos work best on this platform. I know I said short form is up to 60-second videos, but to really take advantage of the platform and get the most views, I found that 7 to 30 second videos work the best. And there's a reason for that. TikTok is best to get known and recognized the fastest, meaning you have the ability to grow literally an audience from 0 to 1 million followers. It could happen overnight, and it's happened multiple times with people on the platform where they post, they go viral, and their next one goes viral, and their next one goes viral, all in the matter of a couple of days, and lo and behold, they have 1 million followers. So TikTok is really good for getting known the fastest. And TikTok is all used for vertical content. You cannot post horizontal sideways. You can only post vertical content on TikTok. And like I mentioned before, in our social media funnel, TikTok is at the top of the funnel. Instagram and Facebook Reels. I personally will refer to this just as Instagram Reels, but Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same company. It's virtually the same thing. So right now, Instagram is pushing Instagram Reels the hardest, and that's what's working the best on the platform. So if you're going to post on Instagram, only post Instagram Reels. That's what's working. Images aren't working. Stories don't get you more viral. If you want to go viral and get more views, like that's what the goal and the whole point of this program is, Instagram Reels is what we're going to be focusing on. Right now, Reels are giving people the chance to go viral just like TikTok. So TikTok is this big beast in the room, and Facebook and Instagram are looking to emulate what they're doing because they're taking market share. So they're prioritizing Reels so that people can go viral, and they're very closely simulating TikTok's algorithm by taking those new videos, showing it to a small audience. If it does well, it grows more, it grows more, it grows more, giving you that viral effect. Same as TikTok, 7 to 30 second videos are working the best right now. Again, it's short form content, so you have to keep these pieces of content short and precise. If they're too long, they're not going to grow as fast or grow at all. And another thing that an advantage that Instagram has over TikTok is Instagram can be used for call to actions like, hey, go to my website, go to purchase this, go watch my YouTube videos, because you have other features on Instagram that TikTok doesn't have. Like Instagram has stories where you can post a link to your store. TikTok does not really have the best DMing feature, I would say, whereas direct message, whereas Instagram's DM messaging platform, messaging software, it's a little bit better than what TikTok has. So you can DM people, you can actually bring customers off the platform, like, hey, give me your number, I'll call you. Where on TikTok, that's not really the best. So for Instagram, that's really good. Instagram, again, should be looked at as the top of the funnel of that social media funnel. Next, we have YouTube Shorts. And what YouTube Shorts is, it's the short form component of YouTube. So YouTube is known for long form content, which we get into, but they've recently come out with Shorts, again, to compete with TikTok, Reels, and now we have YouTube Shorts. So it's the short form component of YouTube. It helps you reach a wider audience faster on YouTube. YouTube's very hard to grow on, but now with Shorts, they're taking that same exact approach as TikTok. Taking a video, showing it to a small amount of people. If it does well, they'll show more and more and more, and you can reach more people on YouTube faster, whereas with long form video, it's a lot harder. For YouTube Shorts, what I've seen, 15 to 50 second videos work best. On YouTube, people expect more content. They expect more value, which I will get into later. But this is the length of video that I've seen work the best, anywhere from 15 to 50 seconds. And on YouTube Shorts, you can only post vertical videos only. And again, YouTube Shorts can be looked at as a top of the funnel of your social media funnel. Now, here is the best part of the short form content. You can take a video or one piece of content that you filmed and use the exact video with zero modifications and post it across all three of these platforms: TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. And here's an example. This is a video that I created, and you can see I posted it on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, and it all performed differently. So on TikTok, it blew up. It did the best. Basically, this video was me asking people, how much money do you make? That was the topic of this video, and she was a police officer. Her name was Christina. And this video got 9.5 million views, almost 600,000 likes on TikTok. On Instagram Reels, it got 10,100 views. And on YouTube Shorts, it got 245 views, as you can see. So no modifications to the video. Literally, when I was done editing the video, I posted it to all 3 platforms. No modifications needed, which is the best part about short form content. You don't have to change any aspect of the video in the short form category. It's good for all of the platforms. It's the same exact video. It got different results on different platforms, and I got really, really good results with the TikTok on the one platform. It went massively viral, and that's what I love. It got nearly 10 million views by posting the same exact video, right? So posting the same videos on each different platform gives you the chance to go viral 3 times. It's basically like a baseball at bat. You get 3 strikes. If you post it on Instagram Reels, you have 1 shot of going viral there. If it doesn't work, you have the chance of putting it on TikTok, and it could go viral there. And if that doesn't work, YouTube Shorts have blown up. So I've found where it does better. Sometimes different posts do better on different platforms. Like I've had stuff blow up on Reels, not do as well on TikTok, and then do okay on Shorts. Or vice versa, do super well on YouTube Shorts, and then just not good on Instagram Reels and not good on TikTok. So with short form content, you can post the same exact video across all 3 platforms and have that 3 strike chance to go viral with that same exact video. Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube is the best platform to teach and educate a viewer or a customer that you want to work with. What does that mean? You're going to be spending more time with your viewer and customer, right? Long form. You're spending 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes with your viewer. Naturally, they're going to get more value out of listening to you for longer. They're going to see what you have to say. It's not as fast paced as short form content. It's typically a little bit slower. And again, people can spend more time with you. And what that does is it builds real connection and builds a loyal following with your viewers by spending more time with them, providing more value, right? So the more time you can spend with your ideal customer talking about exactly what you want to talk about, so in your specific niche or whatever you're making content about, your viewer is going to be able to listen to you more, appreciate what you're saying, and extract the value out of you as a person through your content. YouTube videos are typically 2 to 30 minutes long. They can go longer, but when I'm making videos on my YouTube channel, they're typically anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. I have some videos that are 18 to 20 minutes, but it all depends on the type of content you're making and what you really want to focus on. But typically, like if you're making a review style video or answering a specific question in a video, those videos are typically 5 to 10 minutes. And YouTube, again, it's horizontal video. And YouTube now funnels into the middle of your social media funnel. You had short form, TikTok, Instagram Reels at the top. YouTube is now in the middle, and we'll explain how we get to the bottom of the funnel, which is the dollars, a little bit later on. YouTube is by far my favorite platform, and there's multiple reasons why. I am a huge fanboy of YouTube. I am super, super bullish, positive on YouTube. Reasons being is you get paid for views on YouTube. In my in the multiple channels I have, they're monetized, meaning YouTube actually pays me money to post videos there and get views. I'm going to show you an example of this. We'll go to my personal channel first. So you can see when you come over to the analytics page, my estimated revenue for my personal channel is $214 this month. Not bad. My channel's still relatively smaller, but you can see all the stats are up. We're quickly growing this thing. You get paid on a per video basis. I'm going to show you my other channel. This is my cooking channel where I have 20,000 subscribers. We're going to go to analytics, and you can see for this month, it's on pace to do $925, almost $1,000, and I really don't post on this channel anymore. So you get paid per view. So I'm getting all these views in the last 40 hours, 13,000 views. You actually get paid for your views. The next thing I love about YouTube is you build a real and authentic community. Short form is great, but like I mentioned earlier, you don't have that chance to really sit down and spend more time with your viewer and customer. They don't really get to know who you are through short form content. Whereas long form content, you can be more authentic, you can be yourself a little bit more, and people relate to that. That's how you build an authentic community. And just to give you an example, yes, I've made very viral TikToks and Reels, and you get thousands of comments. But on YouTube, when I make a really good YouTube video, I'll have people come over from YouTube to Instagram and send me a message. Hey man, watch your YouTube video. You provided me so much value. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You're going to blow up. You're awesome. And the feedback there is so much more impactful because those people have spent more time with me, and I'm actually there providing value to them for 5 to 10 minutes over and over and over, where I can really build a connection with them and they'll become a follower for life. If YouTube is done right, it could become a full-time career. So the term, I'm a YouTuber. Like these are famous YouTubers, Mr. Beast, Graham Stephan. The list goes on and on and on. You might not know those people, but they make full-time incomes off YouTube by posting on YouTube, getting paid for their views. This is multi-million dollars either a month or a year. They get sponsorship deals to sponsor their videos, et cetera, et cetera. So successful YouTubers are making millions and millions of dollars per month. In this section, I'm going to explain to you the $1 billion social media funnel and went super in depth on it, and enjoy. This is the $1 billion social media funnel. Now, simply explained, this is exactly how you turn views on social media to dollars in your pocket, whether it's in a business account or a personal brand account. This will work for both. I learned this by observing some of the best in the game like Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozi, Ryan Pineda, Gary Vaynerchuk. They're all using this exact strategy, and it's very simple that you can apply in your business. The old way of using social media is just posting as much as possible, hoping that people will see you and you're gonna get visitors to your website and they're gonna automatically buy from you. That just doesn't work nowadays. You have to be very strategic with the kind of content you're posting, where you're posting, and how you're posting it, so eventually all builds on each other so you can ultimately monetize that and make a lot of money doing this. It's a very simple funnel, but you just have to understand how it works, and that's exactly what I'm going to explain to you today. So let's get right into it. At the very top of the funnel, you have TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Those are the 3 platforms with short form content that is reaching the most people. It has the most virality to get as many eyeballs as possible. So what you have to do is post 3 to 5 to 8 times on these platforms, and the same piece of content can be used across all 3 channels. It doesn't need to be modified at all. So you're gonna post a 15 to 30 second video on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, and that gives you the best chance to reach as many people as possible at the top of the funnel and bring people in, right? YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, especially TikTok, is where things are going viral very, very quickly to get you as many eyeballs as possible. So in these types of videos, you could do trendy sound videos. You can even do the little dances if you want to. I've never done a dance on social media. I've got millions of views. Make content that's funny. Make content that's relative to your niche. Make content that makes people want to share it with their friends. And that's all is what's defined as short form video. So on these platforms, you're gonna try and post, I'd say anywhere from 1 to 5 times a day. You're gonna keep the videos between 15 and 30 seconds. And most importantly, you're gonna make content that can be shared with friends and is funny and is relative to your niche. So funny, viral type, can be shared. As long as you hit all of these metrics, I promise you're gonna get millions of views to your next stage in the funnel. Now, the next layer inside the social media funnel is taking people from short form content to long form content, which includes YouTube and podcasts that you're doing. This is where it gets exciting for me because long form content is where you actually can connect with your customer or your audience exactly like I'm doing with you in this video. So if you stuck around this long, that means you're watching long form content. You've probably spent 5-10 minutes with me already. So you're getting to know me, Ryan Maya, a little bit better and what value I can provide to you. So that's exactly what you're doing in long form content for your audience and your customers. They're getting to know you better. They're learning about your personal life, your business life, what you can do for them as a customer, what you can teach them, what value you can provide. And here they're spending anywhere from on YouTube, which is 5 to 20 minute videos, and on podcasts can be 30 minutes to 3 hours. So imagine you got the chance to spend 3 hours with your ideal customer or your ideal viewer and get to talk about your business and your personal brand with that person. Don't you think they're gonna get to know you a little bit better and probably wanna buy from you if you actually have something worth buying? So this is exactly why I love long form, because this is where you actually get to sell your customer and build an awesome relationship with them. At the top of the funnel, you're gonna get a whole bunch of views, and then at the middle of the funnel, in the long form, you're not gonna get as many views, but those views matter the most. It's the quality of views here that matter. I've had Reels and TikToks go viral and get millions and millions of views, but I never really get any customer interaction from those, maybe some. But where I get the most positive messages is when someone watches a YouTube video and then they DM me on Instagram and be like, dude, you're awesome. I can't believe you provided me so much value. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. And that's because they spent some time with me. And then lastly, this funnels down to events and courses. So once people have discovered you, they've gotten to know you and they trust you, they will then buy from you, and that's where you make the money. So Ryan Pineda, Grant Cardone, all of these big influencers, this is where they cash in their influence. So I recently attended one of Ryan Pineda's events in Las Vegas called Future Flipper. There were 700 people there and they all came from social media. Where the real value was made is he got to sell his course at his event for $25,000, and I saw literally lines and lines of people lining up to buy that from him. So those customers went through the entire funnel. They found him on social media, they got to know him through his YouTube and his podcast, and they then went to his event and bought his course. And that's exactly how Ryan is making over $1 million a month through social media. So if this is something that you can use in your business, in your personal brand, this applies to anything. Like I have a fishing line business and this funnel applies to it. If you're a realtor or you're a plumber, this can somehow still apply to you. I'll do the example for the realtor, right? A realtor posts lots of TikToks about cool, awesome homes. Then they have a podcast or YouTube videos on touring homes more in depth, what they think of the market, and that will lead to more people wanting them to list their house and represent them as a buying agent. So it literally works for any industry, any vertical of business, whether it's personal brand, whether it's online courses, whether it's physical products or a service. This social media funnel works. Now you might be asking yourself, what kind of content do I make both on long form and short form videos? That's what I'm gonna help you with right now. So if you're creating content for a business, this is exactly what I suggest you do. Now, business and personal, it's all kind of related. Most of the things go together, but for businesses specifically, this is the content that I use in my business, Beyond Braid, the fishing line company. Basically, all the topics listed out here is exactly what I'm doing right now. So for business content, videos related to your industry. For example, my fishing brand, Beyond Braid, we post a lot of fishing content, whether we organically create it or we repost it from other creators in the same niche. Both are good for our short form content. Now, videos about your product or service. So we make a lot of videos about our fishing line specifically. So whether it's the fishing line on the actual reel, whether it's me just in front of the camera talking about the product, saying, hey guys, this is Ryan with Beyond Braid. Check out our awesome colors. The line is good for this reason. It's good for this reason. It's actually on sale today. Go to our website and buy it, right? So I'm making content about the product specifically. So in a business, whatever product or service you have, you can make content about it. If you are a realtor, you can make content based on your listings or some new listings that hit the market, right? If you're in a luxury market like Miami or Miami Beach, where I live, if I was a realtor and I had no listings, I would make content of the most expensive listings in Miami. And I would literally go to, I know there's $100 million listing down the street. I would literally go make content about that listing, and that's product or service related to the industry. Videos about your business niche basically is the same thing as your industry. So fishing, if you have a fishing company, make video content on fishing, how to go fishing, going fishing on a boat, saltwater fishing, the fishing line, the fishing reel, the best tackle to use, right? Basically everything that encompasses your niche and your industry, make content, right? Just sit down with a list or a pen and a paper and start just drawing out ideas. Another one of my favorites is answering common questions in your industry. So just think, if you were your customer or your viewer, what questions would they probably have on your product, your service, on your industry, right? Answer those specific questions in video form. For example, in my company, Beyond Braid, Braided Fishing Line, a lot of the times people are confused. What is the difference between braided fishing line, what we sell, and regular fishing line? So I've made multiple pieces of content just answering that question. What is the difference between braided line and monofilament line? The differences are braided line has no stretch. Braided line comes in a bunch of different colors. Braided line casts further. Monofilament line has stretch. It doesn't come in a lot of colors, and it's not good for this reason. And basically in the video, I answered a specific question. So if you can sit down and write down all the questions your audience or your customer or your viewer might have and literally make videos answering that one specific question in one video, you're good to go. Customer success stories is another huge one. So customer testimonials, customer videos using the actual product. So if customers have used your product before and they send it into you, your product or service, repost that as content, right? As a business, that's great content to have because it's social proof for people coming to you, for viewers coming to you, for customers coming to you. If they see other customers winning, they will be more apt to do business with you, to trust you, to see that other people are having success with your product. So that's great content, is customer wins, customer success stories, all of the above. And another one that I love to do is personal stories related to the business. So whether you're creating the content on your personal or your business page, tell a backstory about the business. So for example, on TikTok, that's a huge trend where people tell the storyline of their business. Hey, my name is Ryan. I started this braided fishing line company, Beyond Braid, out of my bedroom. We now have a 10,000 square foot facility. We've done over $10 million in sales, and I was able to buy my dream car, right? People love the rags to riches story. So if you can relate a personal story to your business, people love that, right? People don't buy from businesses, people buy from people. So through content, right, if you have a main character for your business page, people can actually relate and build a relationship with that character, and then they'll be more apt to follow. They'll be more apt to engage with the post, and at the end of the day, be more apt to buy something from you. For example, I am the face. If you go to Beyond Braid, most of the Beyond Braid content, I'm the face of the business. I'm the face and character of the business, so people can relate to me. A lot of people in the industry know my name because they've seen my name and face on social media over and over again. So if you can be the face of your business, that is absolutely ideal. Now, if you're going to be making content for your personal accounts, this could be literally your personal social media or your personal brand social media, which is kind of the same thing. These are what I suggest. So a big one is trending topics. If there's anything that's happening in the news, right? A big article came out related to your industry or business. Like, for example, I'm Jewish. What Kanye West, as of right now, Kanye West is having a whole bunch of anti-Semitic remarks and he's getting dropped by businesses. So I found that as a perfect opportunity to take business and something that's related to me personally, Judaism, anti-Semitics, and it was a hot topic, and put it all into a piece of content. And I did that, and the content did very well. So it was a trending topic, it was a news event, and it was personal to me, made great content. That was just one example. Answering specific questions, once again, right? That's probably the biggest thing, is people want to learn something through content nowadays. So if you can help them and answer their questions in the niche that you're in, you'll be golden. So for example, I'm in the personal finance, business, e-commerce, content strategy niche. So I constantly answer people's questions of how to make more money online, or how to invest my money in real estate. How do I save more money? How do I create an e-commerce store? What's the best product to dropship? How to create Facebook ads. So these are all things that are related to me and that my viewers probably have questions on and want to see more of how I do. So I just answer those specific questions. Piggybacking on that, right? Hacks, tricks, and secrets in your niche. So for example, just think of a title like this. 3 hacks to make your videos perform better on social media. 3 hacks to catch more fish for Beyond Braid. 3 secrets that help me get more video views. My number 1 hack that got me more product sales, right? So hacks, tricks, secrets, those are all very attractive video ideas that get customers and video and views and audiences to come in and follow you and want to engage with you more. Personal stories is a huge one that I'm working on right now. People love personal stories because they can relate to you. So if you're telling a personal story and that end viewer can somehow relate to you in some sort of way, you just built a super loyal follower. Because if you can relate to them and then show them how you overcame the problem that you had that they have right now, that person will love you and follow you forever. So personal stories, super relatable. It's how you really show your authentic self through the camera. And that's how people get to know you better through your content. And lastly, things you're passionate about. So for example, I love cars. From time to time, I'll make content on cars because it really shows through the camera, right? I drive a really fast Mercedes. I love cars my whole life. So car content is passionate to me. And there's a lot of people out there that like cars. So again, it goes back to that personal aspect, personal relatable. That's what people will relate to you for. And they'll come back wanting more because you like what they like and they can build that relationship. And when you make content about things you're passionate for, it actually shows in the content. You build a better relationship with the camera and you get excited to make the views. Like I get way more excited to make videos on my car than making, let's say, how to invest in the stock market video. That's just one example. So all of these video ideas can apply both for long form and short form content, but I'm going to break it down even further and go into each of them specifically. So first, let's dive into how to come up with video ideas, short form content specifically. So this is just the list, and then I'm going to show you some examples as well. So you can look at other creators in the same niche or space. I'm sure if you're going to make content, there's someone doing something similar. Go on TikTok, go on Instagram, go on their account and literally see the videos that they're doing. There's a whole bunch of inspiration right there. If they have a lot of followers, typically what they're doing is probably working. Like I just mentioned, answering specific questions. Show yourself performing an action of your niche. For example, if you are, let's say, a Facebook agency owner or a salesperson, literally film yourself doing a live sales call. People love that kind of content. If you're a realtor, film yourself doing a listing appointment over the phone or a listing appointment in person. For example, in our fishing niche, I do a lot of fishing videos, actually in action, catching the fish. That's what our viewers love to see as a fishing company in the fishing niche. If you're in the fitness niche, film yourself working out. Different types of workouts. Actually doing the action makes for great content. Look for hashtags in your niche and get inspired by those videos. So you can literally go to TikTok and type in a hashtag fishing, and it'll show you all the videos with the hashtag fishing. And typically it'll show you the highest ranking video or with the most views, and then I'm sure that'll give you a really good idea. Same on Instagram. You can research hashtags. So I'd go on Instagram, type in hashtag fishing, and look at all the videos, and you can see all the video views and likes, and whichever ones are top performing, try to emulate something along those lines. This one is really big. Brainstorm with a friend. 2 minds are better than one. If you're having trouble coming up with ideas yourself, what I would do is get a friend and just say, hey man, what do you think I'm good at? Obviously in my niche, what do you think I can make videos about? And sometimes you get so stuck in your own head that having an external person bouncing ideas off you can help you form your own ideas, and they can help give you ideas as well. So 2 brains are always better than 1. This happened to me just recently. I was kind of in a rut thinking of video topics. I literally sat down with my girlfriend, and she sees things from a different perspective of me. And she gave me, we literally wrote down, I think it was like 15 video ideas for long form and short form in the matter of 10 minutes, just because I had one extra person. So having 2 brains is awesome. Current events, like I said, news events, trending topics like the Kanye West thing, trending sounds. So TikTok and Reels have audio that people do sounds too. So for example, one of the trending sounds was this song that was going around. It went viral. And if you use that song properly, relating it to your niche, that's how you'll go viral. I'll show you more how to do that later. But trending sounds is a great way to get ideas because it's already what's working, what other people are creating. And humor related to your niche. Humor is one of the most underrated forms of content because it's so shareable. So if you can make something funny related to your niche, like memes or make memes in video form, that shares very well, which will ultimately lead to better performance of your posts. So for example, answering a specific question in short form content.
How much money does it realistically take to start an online e-commerce business? All you need is $29 a month for a free Shopify store. Importing products from AliExpress to your website is completely free. A domain name costs about $14. You can set up and run ads for as little as $5 a day. Budget for $100 to $200 for testing ads. So you're telling me for about $250, you can change your entire life.
So right? I answered the specific question in that piece of short form content. How much money does it take to start an e-commerce business? And I basically just ran through each of the expenses to get started. That video, I think, got 30,000 views on TikTok just by answering that specific question on e-commerce. So you get the idea. Just answer a specific question a potential viewer might have. I would think if I was interested in e-commerce for the first time, I would want to know how much does it cost to actually start an e-commerce business. The next one, show yourself in action.
Guy takes my
What,
fish.
ladyfish? No, we don't need them. No, we don't. We just. Give me. You want to eat it? Okay. There you go. Where are you gonna take them? Take them home?
Yeah.
Go take them home. Go take them home.
You take it home?
You take it home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was a video that I posted on our Beyond Braid TikTok. That video got 1.6 million views, believe it or not. And it was just me. I happened to have a GoPro on my head. I was fishing. I caught this fish. This nice gentleman wanted to keep the fish. I was going to throw it back. And I made a piece of content out of it. So I was in action and it got 1.6 million views just by filming myself doing what I was doing in my related niche or business. Current events, news, trends. This one's pretty cool.
I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me.
I think Adidas being a German company, and I think they reported that them dropping Kanye just for Q4, so like these next 3 months, they're gonna lose 250 million in revenue just from dropping him. So I'm sure they didn't want to, right? Their shit being whacked right now, but I think them as a German company, obviously everything that happened with the Holocaust and Jews, I just don't think they can be associated with anyone that says anything bad about Jews. It just looks bad on their part.
They lose 250 million without this guy. They'll use billions if they don't lose him.
So, again, that was a current event and a news trend. Kanye West was really, really hot. So what we did there, I as a Jewish person, and I had my African-American friend Mike, we literally came together and did sort of a podcast interview, reaction style video, talking about the topic. And it did very, very well because the title of the video was Jew and Black React to Kanye West. Pretty controversial, pretty relevant to the news. It's a hot topic. That's why the video did super well. So it was a current event, a current trend, right? This is kind of a trend that people are talking about Kanye and everything that's going on. And it was related to my niche because I'm Jewish. And we were talking about business in the fact that Adidas and all these companies were dropping Kanye. So now we're going to talk about how to come up with video ideas specifically for long form content. Now this is kind of similar to short form, right? Because they're both kind of related. The video structure is just different, but there's some different things you can do here in long form. So again, you can look at other creators in your same niche and space. For example, I do this all the time. I find people like Graham Stephan, Iman Gadzhi. These are guys in the finance space, in the e-commerce space, who make content on YouTube that have a lot of subscribers, that get a lot of views, so they inspire me. Search-based content. The beautiful thing about YouTube, which you probably didn't know in long-form videos, YouTube is the second largest search engine next to Google. So think of how many times you've went to YouTube and typed in how to change a light bulb, how to film yourself on camera, right? So it's a search engine, so you should make search-based content, things people are constantly looking up, right? Basically, how-to videos. People are always looking up how to do certain things. So if you could take things in your niche and make a how-to video, for example, let's go back to the realtor example. How to list your house. If you're that would be the best way if you were, let's say, a realtor coach. But if you were just a realtor, what's the best way to get top dollar for your home? How to start the process of selling your home, right? These are just some basic ideas off the top of my head of things that maybe a potential seller would look up to find a realtor. So that's how you can get in front of that audience, right? A lot of how-tos. In the fishing niche, how to spool up your reel with fishing line. The most obvious one there that a lot of people are going to be doing when they're changing their fishing line, and us as a fishing line product should be that top video. This goes exactly with answering specific questions. Again, how to do X, answering someone's question on a specific niche that they have. Product reviews. So a good example of a long form video is if someone has a specific item or a specific sort of product that they are looking to buy, what do they typically do? They go to YouTube and they type in thoughts on this or product review on that. For example, our fishing line, we do product reviews of our own products. We just launched a new product. We launched a fishing knife. We do a product review and all the features of that knife to inform the customers. This is a great way to catch a lot of viewership of people wanting to buy certain things, people wanting to ask certain questions. You can do that through product reviews. Another long form topic is 7 ways to do X. So number of ways to do blank. For example, 7 ways to make $100,000. 7 different passive income ideas. That just looks good in a title of a video, and it gives you a good structure for a video. So 7 ways to make passive income. You could say, hey guys, it's Ryan. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about 7 ways to make passive income. Way number 1, start a side hustle on Shopify. Way number 2, start washing cars in your neighborhood. Way number 3, buy real estate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Another great topic for long form ideas is to tell personal stories. The reason viewers love personal stories, again, is they can connect with you, the content creator, through that video. So I just recently did a story that it was a story on myself, basically how I went from 0 to $10 million of sales in e-commerce. And it was a video not intended to really be so hardcore on value, but just literally tell a background story about myself. How I started selling candy in middle school, then I started flipping iPhones in high school, then I got to drop shipping into college, and then I started my business Beyond Braid. I bought inventory and scaled into this big company. So I just told a personal story about myself. Another one is current events and trending topics. I'll go back to the Kanye West example. Right now, Kanye is the talk of the town in the entire country and what he's doing. So if you can pick up on a news article like that and make a long form video just talking about it, showing an article, showing clips of Kanye, and then talking about it, that's one way of doing it. Let's say the stock market had a really bad day. The stock market falls 5%. That is a huge talking topic in the finance industry. The Federal Reserve raises interest rates. How's that going to affect the real estate market? That's a current event topic. So things like that can definitely make for a lot of video views in a short amount of time. by riding those current event and trend waves. Show yourself performing an action of your niche. So for example, in my business account, Beyond Braid, I will go fishing in the Keys on my buddy's boat, and I'll literally have a GoPro and another GoPro set up, and I'll literally just film myself fishing and catching and talking about what we catch that day, the gear we're using, show them how we're catching the fish, what we're releasing, what we're keeping. So literally just doing the action and making a long form video, almost like a vlog style video. A vlog is basically just filming random things in the day, but this is more specific towards a niche. It can apply to multiple different niches. Again, whatever you do in your business or you do in your personal life or your brand, and you think it's interesting and it has content worthy ideas, just pull out a camera and press record. And again, brainstorming with a friend on ideas in your niche can help you find more ideas that you might not be able to think of because you only know what you know. Having a third party there, bouncing ideas off you, can open and unlock new ideas in your brain, and they can bring you a lot of value. Like I told you that story before, when I was stuck thinking of video ideas, I brought in my girlfriend and said, hey, I want to make video ideas in the finance niche and e-commerce of what I'm good at. I can't think of anything right now. What do you see in me that I'm good at? And she literally told me everything I'm good at, and they turned into video ideas. So having another person is awesome. So let's put these into actual examples. Looking at other creators in your space is one of the best ways. Like I mentioned before, Iman Gadzhi, he is going crazy on YouTube right now. Like I think in the past month, he's gotten like 300,000 subscribers. So obviously what he's doing is right. You can see he posted this video 3 days ago and it already has 250,000 views, and it was a 7 ways to make blah, blah, blah. But I come to his channel to get inspired because we make content more or less on the same thing. So I can take a video like this, right? 7 ways to make your first $100,000 online. And maybe I can change it to say 7 ways to make your first $1,000. 7 ways to make your first $100,000, and it doesn't have to be online, right? Another one can be 17 side hustles you can start during the 2022 recession. That's the name of that video. You can take that idea. I can take that idea and modify it. 5 side hustles you can start today, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be related to the recession. You're just taking the general ideas, because there's lots of ideas here, and you're making them your own. You're putting a twist on it. You can even go as far as copying the exact video, because that's a big strategy. Like if you see something like this that has a lot of views, you can copy this exact video, and when you make the content, it's going to come out your own, as long as you're being authentic as possible and you actually know what you're talking about. Don't just start blabbing out of your butt. Search-based content, things people look up. Let's give you an exact example of this. This is my cooking channel, Ryan Maya Cooks, 20,000 subscribers. I created videos that people need to look up. For example, how to cook a New York strip steak, how to grill the perfect steak every time, how to cook the best steak in the cast iron pan, how to grill the perfect steak, how to cook bone marrow, how to cook the perfect filet mignon. You can see this was the first video I ever posted on this channel 3 years ago. It was filmed with really bad quality on an old iPhone. It was bad video editing skills, and it got 2 million views. 2 million views. Same here. 1.6 million views. This one was filmed on a little bit better camera. I got a little bit better at video making skills. And what's crazy about this video was posted probably for about 1.5 years and got no views. And all of a sudden, it got thrown into the YouTube search algorithm. People started, I guess, looking that up, and my video got suggested more and more and more, and it took off. Same with this one. So search-based content, things people want to look up. How-tos are crucial. How to put together a toilet, or how to install a toilet, how to unscrew your faucet sink, right? If you're a plumber. So how-to videos are awesome. The next one is number of ways to do X. So you just fill in the blank. 7 ways to make your first $100,000 online. If you are in the realtor space and you're a realtor coach, 6 ways to cold call buyers, right? You're teaching people different ways to cold call or outreach to buyers. Again, this applies literally to any single niche. If I apply this to my fishing niche, 3 ways to catch more fish in saltwater. 10 ways to rig up your rod for the ideal casting ability, right? I'm just spitting off the top of my head, but like I said, here's a perfect example. Iman Gadzhi did 7 ways to make your first $100,000 online, and he got 250,000 views in 3 days. Absolutely amazing. Product reviews. So this microphone, the Shure SMB7, you can see this video got 376,000 views over 5 years, and I guarantee you it grows every single day because this is an expensive microphone. Before someone goes to purchase this, they really want to make sure before they spend that money, they're getting exactly what they want out of the microphone. They're seeing, hey, is it worth it? Should I be spending this much money on a microphone? Am I going to use all the features? So as a creator making a product review video, you can see the name of the channel is Podcast Stage, or however you say that. Clearly, it's a video content creation channel. So making videos and product reviews videos on gear to make podcasts will bring more viewers to their channel. So it's a great way to grab viewership in your niche is through product reviews. Long form content lives forever. That's what you have to know about YouTube and love about YouTube. Let's just go back to this exact example. These videos literally get views every single day, and I don't have to do anything for them. They make money every day. They bring new viewers to my channel every single day without me doing anything. Why? Because they're ranked and they're on YouTube forever. They're not going away. People are not going to stop cooking steaks forever. So as long as those videos are there, the videos are going to live on the content platform forever. So long form videos done right will get views forever. It's going to make you money forever, like on YouTube. As you get views on the channel, you get paid per views on YouTube AdSense, which I'll explain how to monetize. You get customers and new viewers forever, because as long as people are going to be looking up that topic, you're going to get views forever. And again, it lives forever. I know I repeated myself a bunch there, but I really want to hone that in. Is I no longer have to put an effort for those videos. They will work for me forever. That is true passive income. Yes, I did work in the beginning to make it happen, but it's true passive income because I no longer really do work for that cooking channel, and it still grows subscribers, it still makes money. I think a few months ago when those videos took off, I made like $3,000 in 1 month, and I didn't do anything. It's just because those videos were there and they were living forever. Now, what I want to do is give you my viral video formula for short form content that has worked so many times across so many different niches. And this is the formula. It's 3 simple steps, very easy to follow. Number 1 is you have to have something strange, unusual, weird, or attention grabbing in the video, right? Short form content, people are constantly scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. If you have something weird or different or kind of unbelievable in the video that makes someone stop, which is also known as a hook, that's something different, that is what's going to get people to stop and actually start watching the video. Now, once they stop and start watching the video because you're weird or attention grabbing thing, you have to be controversial. You have to have a strong opinion on a topic. What I like to do is actually do something incorrect or say something incorrect in the video on purpose that I'm clearly aware of. And this drives engagement to the comments. So how these algorithms work and the social media algorithms work, the more likes, the more views, and the more comments a post gets, the algorithm sees that as, oh my God, wow, like this post is getting a lot of attention. I'm going to show it to more people. The algorithm cannot read the comments and see if they're good or bad comments or if they're mean or nice comments. They just see the engagement, right? The algorithm just sees the engagement. So you have something strange or unusual. You said something opinionated or incorrect or controversial. And lastly, you have to keep the video short, concise, about 15 to 20 seconds. Better, you could do 10 seconds, but I would not do it over 20 seconds to get that really massive viral effect. Now, let me show you an example of this put into play. So this was a video that I posted on the Beyond Braid Instagram, and it got 8.5 million views just on that one Instagram reel.
Look at this little baby. It's a baby. Oh, there's a nurse shark. Should we feed it to him? Feed it, nurse shark. Oh, he didn't eat it.
This is a baby permit. It's a species of fish that actually gets much bigger, like 10, 15, 20 pounds. So the fish gets really, really big. Now, to find one this small, smaller than like the size of a quarter, right? That's extremely unusual. So immediately when you're scrolling and you see that, as a fisherman, you'd be like, whoa, that's interesting. And it is a pretty cute fish, I'm not gonna lie. Then I did step number one, right? That was having something unusual. Number two was I specifically said something wrong on purpose to drive engagements to the comments. So you can see right here in the caption, I said, baby tarpons are so cute. This is not a tarpon, this is a permit. A tarpon is a species of fish. So it's like calling a blue Ferrari a red Ferrari. It's clearly wrong and incorrect. And what you can see is it drove an extreme amount of engagement to the comments. That's not a tarpon. Tarpon, that's a mini striped marlin. Obviously, he's joking. That's definitely not a tarpon. Not a tarpon, wrong. Tarpon, laughing, right? So people consistently commented that I was incorrect, which obviously I knew already. So the algorithm sees all those comments and is like, whoa, this is a hot post. People must really like this post and they're really engaging with it. And then lastly, I kept it short.
Look at this little baby. It's a baby. Oh, there's a nurse shark. Should we feed it to him? Feed it, nurse shark.
So that video was 9 seconds long. I kept it short. It had so many weird aspects. You had the baby permit. You have the nurse shark at the end, and you're going to see if I feed it to the nurse shark and see if it's going to eat it. I said something wrong in the comments. So all of that put together made this video go viral. And it got over 10 million views between TikToks, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. It did pretty well on YouTube Shorts. It did great on Instagram Reels. And I think it got like 100 or 200,000 views on TikTok, all from that one video. Now, another method that works really well from turning long form videos into short form videos. So instead of filming specific short form videos, you actually take long form videos and turn them into short form videos. And I call that the long form chop method. So what does that actually mean? You take one long form video, usually a podcast or a YouTube video with multiple points in it, and you turn it into multiple short form videos. So think about a podcast. Typically there's multiple points brought up in a podcast or in a YouTube video, 7 ways to make more money online, right? There's each of those one ways can be one short form video idea. So to put that into an example, Logan Paul has a podcast called Impulsive. He's got 4.3 million subscribers. And you can see his most recent video right here was Shawn Michaels on Logan Paul versus blah, blah, blah. They posted that 2 days ago. So that video was 1 hour and 18 minutes. And they took this one podcast that was 1 hour long, right? And they turned it into multiple short form clips that they've already posted. So they've gotten at least 6 videos from that podcast. I think they do way more. So out of that hour, there's probably 30, 40 clips that they can get out of it. But you can see they don't even turn them into short form. They turn them into little clips. But I know from looking at their social media that they do the same thing. They just turn it into 30-second videos, just like this one, 53 seconds. So you're taking a long form podcast style just like this and turning it into 6 clips because there's multiple points and multiple topics in those videos that you can turn into short form content. That is the long form chop method. And you're basically using what you've already put effort into. Like you already put effort into making the longer form video. You've already put effort into making the podcast. Now you're just maximizing it by going back and taking that footage and chopping the long form into short form clips. All right, now we're going to talk about the structure of each video format, both long form and short form, how you should actually structure the videos, what content should be in the videos. You have the topic ideas, but now how do you put them into video form? Well, I have a few different methods. Again, this is not exactly how to do it. This is just a helpful guide if you are really have no idea where to get started, but there's many ways and structures to do videos, but this is what has worked for me and what I've seen work for other creators in the past. So let's start with short form content. Short form format content. It's a tongue twister. Short form format. The short form video format has basically 4 components, right? You're going to start with a hook. Every video should have a hook. What is a hook? A hook is what grabs your viewer's attention. You basically have 3 seconds before someone scrolls on TikTok Reels or YouTube Shorts to grab their attention. So you want to have something that's powerful, it's unusual, it's attention grabbing to make sure those people continue to watch your video. Next, I like to introduce a problem that you're going to be solving in this video. So most people, right, when they're seeking value out of a piece of content, the way you as the content creator can provide value to that viewer is to solve a problem they have, right? I think that's what any end goal of a value or business creator, content creator should do is solve problems. So if you have the hook, you introduce the problem you're going to solve, you then give your solution to the problem, and then you use an example, use the solution in an example. Now I did put 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. The hook should be relatively quick, and then these are all subjective, but this is just a general guide, right? So here's an example of exactly what I'm talking about. You have the hook, ready? And I'm gonna do this real time. Okay, so let me show you if, pretend this was vertical format, right? And I was filming vertically. The title of this video would be how to film the best TikTok videos. So the hook would be, here's exactly how I filmed the best TikTok videos, right? That's the hook. Now I'd state the problem. What most people do is they use their iPhone to film these TikTok videos. What I do to film the best videos is I actually use my $2,000 camera. What I do is turn my camera sideways, I film, I edit on my computer, I airdrop it back to my iPhone, and I upload to TikTok, right? That's just one quick way of short form content. So I'm basically giving you the hook, giving you the problem that you as the viewer is probably doing. Here's my solution. Here's what I do. Here's an example of how I do it. And then boom, right? And that probably all, if I edit it out, would come together in about 10 to 15 seconds. It's short, it's concise, it provides value, and it has all the elements we spoke about. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't need to follow this structure exactly. There's many ways to make short form content. A lot of my viral videos, sometimes they're random, but they have my viral video formula that I mentioned previously. But this is more of a structure if you're talking more on education or for business purposes. That's what that main structure is for. Here's another video format, right? You have the hook. Every short form video should have a hook to grab that attention to make someone stop scrolling. And then you can go hack, right? Here's how to film the best TikToks ever. Hack number 1, use a DSLR camera, right? Hack number 2, use external audio. It gives you crispy audio. Hack number 3, have really good lighting, right? So that's one form of short form content is you can do topic, hack, right? The hook in that video would be, here's 3 ways to film better TikTok videos. First, you should use a DSLR camera. Second, you should use very crispy audio through an external microphone. 3, have external lights. Boom. That video was probably 10, 15 seconds. You provided value, you provided some hacks, and you could have gained a new follower, a new subscriber, right? Like I mentioned, you want to have a hook and an attention grabber at the beginning of every single video. Try to make this a non-negotiable. I'm still guilty of this, right? A non-negotiable, sorry. I am still guilty of this. I don't always have hacks. I don't always have hooks and attention grabbers because sometimes you just get lost in the excitement of making a video like, oh, I got this great video idea, and then you just turn on the camera, you press record, and then you kind of forget the structure, kind of forget to do the steps. As you get better, the hooks come naturally. I think now at this point, I just have a natural hook feeling, and like the hooks are embedded in me. So it's just going to get better over time, but try to make sure you have a hook in every single short form video. Now let's talk about the long form video format. So how I like to structure my long form videos for the most part is you start with a topic, you have a problem, you have a solution, an example. Does it look familiar? It's very similar to the short form video format, but you're obviously expanding on the topics and you're providing more value, you're providing more information, you're spending more time with your viewer, audience, and customer in long form format. So on a topic, instead of a hook, your hook is pretty much extended and it turns into a topic. So when someone clicks on your video, in the first 30 seconds, you want to give that viewer an overview exactly what they're going to get out of the video if they stay all the way to the end, right? You have to give them a reason to stay. So after you give the topic, you're going to then move into a problem. Problems are your best friend in long form video because when you provide a problem, it gives the audience an opportunity and kind of forces them to stay and watch until you give them the solution, right? Problems spark curiosity. Problems are your friend. So if you state the problem you or your viewer has, you can do this by telling stories that you have about the problem or you had about the problem. Typically, it's you had about the problem because you're going to tell them how to solve the problem in the video. Next, you move on to the solution. So you stated the topic, you let them know about the problem, and now you're going to give them a solution. You can use a story to give them the solution of the problem of the video. So the best way to do that is to provide an example and use it all in an encompassing story. Let me show you an example so you can put it all together. So the long form video format, let's see what I would title this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I turned my side hustle into my full-time job. So the title of that video would be, I turned my side hustle into my full-time job. Pretty simple, right? So the topic of the video, right away when someone clicks on it, the first 30 seconds, I want them to know that's what the video is going to be about. So I will explain it to them. Hey guys, it's Ryan. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I turned my little side hustle that I started in college into my full-time job, making $1 million a year, something along those lines. So now I'm going to introduce them to the problem that I had prior, right? To kind of relate to the audience. I was stuck working a 9-to-5 job that I hated. I was miserable. Things just weren't going right in my life. So what did I do? I tried to start a side hustle. So there, you're probably relating to someone who is interested in turning their side hustle into a full-time job. So they're probably stuck in a 9-to-5 or they're stuck in a situation they don't like. So there, with that problem, you're relating to the audience, which is going to build rapport, build relationship with that viewer. So then you move on to the solution of how you fixed being stuck at your 9-to-5 job, right? I started this side hustle and I worked on it every day after work. And then you can tell a story about the grind, what products you came up with, how many hours you spent, what specific strategies you used to start this side hustle. Again, these boxes are very general of the topic, problem, solution. This is where you have to go and create those stories and provide the value yourself. And then you can use the example, right? After 2 years of working every night till midnight, I was working my ass off. I finally grew the business to 7 figures. I was able to quit my 9-to-5 job, and I'm now my own boss and I make $1 million a year. You can do the same, right? That you're bringing them along the story with you in this long form video format to show them what's possible, to provide them value and build a relationship at the end of the day with this viewer. Once again, you don't need to follow this exact formula. There are many ways to do long form videos. You can do all of the other topics we spoke about, don't necessarily have to be in this form, but this is a form that I found a lot of successful YouTubers using. I've studied hundreds of videos, thousands of YouTube hours, and the top creators work those all of those elements into their videos, especially the problems, the stories, and the solutions. So another form, just like short form had a couple forms, you can do 7 hacks to film better TikTok videos. Or hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how I film better TikTok videos that have gotten me over 10 million views on TikTok. Hack number 1. I use a high quality camera. I don't just use an iPhone. And you're obviously going to elaborate on it much more than you would in a short form video, right? Give as much detail on using the camera, what kind of camera it is, what camera angle you use, what frame rate you're filming at, what memory card you use for the camera, etc. Hack number 2, I use really good audio. What does that mean? This is the Shure SMB7. It's one of the best podcast mics you can use. The reason I do this is because audio is so important to TikToks. I use an external plug for my laptop. I use GarageBand to import the audio, etc., etc. And then hack number 3, hack number 4, hack number 5, and then a conclusion. So that's another way of forming a long form video. You want to have a topic at the beginning of every video, like I mentioned, to give the viewer a reason to watch the whole video. One of the main metrics YouTube looks at to grow your videos is they're looking to see how long people are watching your videos. So the way to grow on YouTube is get more people to click on your videos and then get them to watch the whole thing. So if you've successfully got someone to click on your video, you now want them to watch the whole thing. So you should give them a topic at the beginning of the video. Like, hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to film the best TikToks of your life, etc. Right? So it's almost like a hook for a long form video. Let's talk about gear and film equipment. Now, there's 2 spectrums to this. You have your basic film equipment, which is, I put it away when I needed it for this video, a smartphone, right? This is considered basic film equipment. And then more advanced film equipment, which we will get into, is a nice fancy camera like this. So you have both ends of the spectrum. I'm going to go over both for you and see which you might be more apt to using if you're a beginner or if you're a little bit more advanced and have deeper pockets, right? Each his own, but let's get it straight into it. We're first going to start with basic film equipment. Now you might be asking, is more expensive, right? More expensive film equipment, is it usually always going to be better? The answer is plain and simply no, it's not. And trust me, I know this from experience. This is why I suggest you start with an iPhone or a smartphone. Google Pixels, Samsung, iPhones. The camera quality on these phones nowadays and the amount of technology that's packed in here is absolutely insane. The reason expensive is not better in the beginning or in general is because once you start getting into cameras that are more expensive and microphones that are more expensive, it starts to get a lot more complicated. There's a lot more tech involved. There's more steps. So if you've never done this before, it gets really complicated when you're working with things like this. There's a whole bunch of settings and ISOs, aperture, focal lengths. It really gets complicated if you don't know what you're doing. Again, if you're experienced, by all means, go with the camera. But if you're a beginner, start with a phone. It all starts with a smartphone. In the basic film equipment, there's really 3 components. You need a camera, you need a microphone, and you need good lighting. So for basic film equipment, smartphone. For a microphone, you can use the Apple plug-in headphones with the little microphone. I'm sure you've seen those before. AirPods have microphones. They aren't the best, so I don't suggest those. Or you can actually use the iPhone as a microphone. So when you're filming yourself, the smartphones have, I keep referring to iPhones as smartphones. I'm just going to keep saying iPhone because it's a little bit better for me. But if you have a different kind of iPhone or smartphone, go with it. They all have the same features. This obviously has a built-in microphone. Now, what I mean by actually using a smartphone as a microphone, when you go, I'm going to screen record this really quick. When you go to your phone and you type in voice memos, the iPhone has this app called Voice Memos, And believe it or not, the audio on an iPhone microphone or smartphone microphone is actually really, really good when you do it in this format. So you'll need two phones to use this as an external microphone. So you'll be filming on an iPhone and then using this as a microphone to get really clear audio. The problem when you have your iPhone really far away, the audio isn't super clear. Now that's just an extra step you can use. You then have to take this audio file and then combine it with your video file when you edit. That's for another section. But just know you could actually use your iPhone or smartphone as a microphone. If you don't want to do all of that jazz, literally just pressing the camera and recording yourself from selfie or like this. See, perfectly fine. You press video. I'm going to show you. This video and this audio is going to be perfectly fine. The iPhone is picking it up perfectly good. It's a great piece of technology, and it's going to pick up my voice just fine. So again, it's all right here in the palm of your hand. And then for lighting, there's two things you can do. I suggest going to a window to get natural light. You can go outside to get natural light, or you can buy a cheap ring light on Amazon for $29. The highest quality lighting, I would say, on a cheap budget is a window, natural light. It just lights you up and it looks more aesthetically pleasing. But if you film in a dark room or an office like this, you can grab a tripod to put your iPhone on and a ring light. So you are going to need a tripod. The beautiful thing about these ring lights is they're basically a tripod built in, and then they have the ring light. So look, this is $29 and this is $15. You can buy this one by itself and use a window, or you can buy the ring light, which is $29, and you get a tripod and a light. So super simple. Your phone, again, it's really a complete tool. So there's no excuses, which you're going to see in the next slide. Your phone can be used as a video camera, like I said. It can be used as a camera to take pictures, thumbnails for YouTube videos, etc. It can be used as a microphone, like I mentioned. It can be used as a lighting source. So if you have multiple phones, you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, mom, dad, cousin, just borrow their phone for a little bit. You can literally light yourself up with an iPhone if you need better lighting, and then record. And it's a video editor. So there's multiple video editing softwares on the App Store for iPhone. I'm sure for the Google Pixel and Samsung. But the apps like Instagram, TikTok, and there's, like I said, a bunch of other apps. You can literally edit all of your videos, short form and long form, in those platforms. So there literally is no excuse to not get started because it all can be done from a phone. No excuses. It can all be done from a phone. I'll say it again. And I just want to remind you exactly what's possible. This video on my cooking channel was filmed 3 years ago on an iPhone 6, so technology wasn't even advanced as the iPhone 14 is. The thumbnail is ugly, but it's good enough. And this video has probably made me $15,000. It was taken using a basic tripod, a basic iPhone, and I filmed it outside, so I used natural light. So there is no excuse. When you're a beginner, keep it simple. The more gear you start to throw in and buy, the more complicated it gets. Trust me, I know from experience. Just start with the phone. I'm going to keep repeating it so you can understand. Now we're going to get into a little bit more advanced film equipment, kind of my setup, what I use for my videos, for YouTube, for short form, and what they actually look like, and what I use. And I will say it's not the cheapest setup. I've accumulated this stuff over a few years, so I've spent a good amount of money. So a good setup, you're going to need a 4K, that's just resolution you're filming in, mirrorless film camera. This is actually a DSLR camera. These Canon cameras, they do make mirrorless cameras. The only difference is there's the sensor inside. One has a mirror sensor, one has a mirrorless sensor. For video, mirrorless, like the one I'm filming on, is a lot better because it focuses a lot quicker and it just has clearer pictures. And you want it to be 4K. So Sony makes a bunch of 4K cameras. I'm filming on a Sony right now. 4K mirrorless camera, if you're going to go with one. There's literally hundreds of cameras out there. Sony has, I think, like literally 20, 30, 40, 50. You can get a cheap Sony mirrorless camera. It's still not going to be super cheap, but I would go with a Sony mirrorless camera. Enhanced audio, you need an external microphone, so that can include two types of microphones. You can have a big podcasting microphone like this. This is the Shure SMB7. Or you can have an external audio that plugs into the camera like this. This is a lavalier microphone. This is, or known as a lapel microphone. This is the type of microphone that you've seen. It clips to people's shirts, so they wear it right here. I got this on Amazon, I think, for like $200. So it's wireless. It plugs into your camera, and that way you have way better audio. So each call for their own specific type of content, right? So for stuff like this, head talking videos where you're just sitting at a desk or you're doing a podcast, I would go with this kind of mic. If you're doing more action, like when I'm fishing or I'm driving a car, obviously I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to have that mic tucked in, put it in my pocket, and it's right here, and we got good audio. And then third, you need enhanced lighting that's better than just one ring light. It's better than just a window. You're going to use multiple lighting sources, and it's usually called 3-point lighting. This right now, honestly, I didn't do such an advanced lighting setup because I just wanted to keep it super simple. But if you want to take the advanced film equipment route, you are going to need some better enhanced lights than just a ring light. Here is the current setup that I use, that I'm literally using right now. So for the camera, I am using the Sony A7C, which is a 4K camera. It's probably, I'd say, like a mid-tier 4K camera for them. It was about $2,000. And the lens I'm using is a Sigma 24 by 70 millimeter lens. So it's this big lens. It costs $1,000. So the camera itself and the lens, $3,000. Just want to let you know. If you like this look, just copy exactly what I'm doing. Sony A7C, Sigma 24 by 70 millimeter lens. The microphone I'm using is the Shure SMB7. This microphone is $400 or $500. When you buy it, you have to use an external device to actually record the audio. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I have this Focusrite audio mixer, and the microphone actually plugs directly into there. That plugs into my computer, and then that is what records the audio. So again, it's a little bit more complicated. You're gonna have to buy a lot. Like, that's a couple $100. This is $400 or $500, $600, $700, $800 for good audio. If you have the money and you want to go advanced, it's 100% worth it. And then third, my lighting, I use the GMV RGB LED video lights, and I have two of them, one on each side just to light the whole picture. If I'm going for a more cinematic look, I'll put one on this side, I'll put one in front of me, and I'll have other sorts of external lighting. But again, this filming that I'm doing was not meant to look super cinematic and be perfect. It was just to make me look bright and make sure you get the whole picture, and it's just simple. So those are the lights that I use for all my content, all types of filming. So I wanted to give you guys a little behind the scenes of my gear. So again, we got the Sony A7C, and this is exactly where I'm filming this course right here. We got the Sigma lens, you can see right there. And then I got this tripod, which is the Gecko tripod. It was about $80. You can see it's about eye level, face down a little bit. I got the GVM light. This is just one light angle. And then I have, that's also a GVM light, but I bought this softbox to diffuse the light to make it a little bit more flattering. This I bought on Amazon for $30. You can see GVM. So two lights. And then for microphone, I got the Shure SMB7. And like I mentioned, you do need some external stuff
So sorry that I'm barefoot. You need this thing called a cloud lifter, which is $150. Just enhances the audio, which then comes into the Focusrite, which is this mixer, and then it plugs into my computer, which I record the audio on GarageBand, or I screen record and select the Shure as the microphone. So this is my current gear setup, so you can see the quality that I'm doing. It's not super duper fancy, but it is pretty expensive. Like, these lights are a couple $100. This whole camera thing is probably $3,000-ish. The microphone setup is $1,000-ish with everything in. So probably about $4,000 to $5,000 for this setup. Obviously doesn't include the MacBook. So that's just a simple setup. You can go with an older camera like this. This was my old camera. I don't use it anymore, but I do suggest if you're gonna buy a camera, use a Sony. If not, just use an iPhone. So this is my setup.
Again, I just want to warn you, the more expensive gear you buy, the more complicated it gets. I can't tell you how long it took me to figure out how to set up this audio and get it to work properly and learn all the settings on my 4K camera, which I still don't know all the settings because I'm not a super advanced videographer. I literally still have it on the normal setting that's automatic, and I press go. So do I need this super expensive camera? Probably not. But again, when you go even into the more expensive cameras, it gets more complicated. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. If you're just starting, simple is always going to be better. It's going to be easier and it's going to be more effective. You're going to be able to be more productive. I can make way more videos on my iPhone than I can with all of this, right? Whenever I'm with my girlfriend filming commercials for my business, I literally hand her the phone. I say, here, record. And those videos are always really, really good because the iPhones are really, really good quality. I just want to remind you what's possible with just an iPhone smartphone. For example, Meals by Kuj. Kujin has 2.3 million followers on TikTok, and you can see every single one of his videos are filmed on an iPhone, and he gets millions and millions and millions of views. He's got 50 million likes. He's just a funny character. His content is actually funny and good, and he's a relatable character, but he films everything on an iPhone, and he's got 2.3 million followers here, and I think more than 1 million followers and 1.5 million on Instagram. So there's an example. A more realistic example is this is actually my girlfriend. She's filmed all her videos on her iPhone, and she's gotten 33,000 followers on TikTok, all from an iPhone, and she has a ring light, but usually uses a window as her natural lighting source. So this is very, very realistic if you're still starting from the beginning, and I'm going to go to one other unrealistic example, which is Charli D'Amelio, 150 million followers, and you can see most of her videos are filmed on an iPhone and a ring light. It's very, very simple. Don't overcomplicate this stuff. You just have to start. Don't overcomplicate the equipment. The biggest thing is the actual quality you're speaking into the camera and the actual content and value you provide to your viewer. Just like Kujin, he's funny, he's relatable, his content is really, really good and funny. That's why people follow him. They don't really care that his camera's not super crispy or he always has good audio or good lighting. It's the quality of the content. Now, if he enhanced his quality of picture now mixed with his humor and his relatability, I think he could even take it to the next level. But again, you don't have to overcomplicate it.
So what I want to do is show you exactly how I film my long form YouTube videos, talking head style videos. So I got 3 different camera angles to kind of see if I can hit it all. But essentially it all starts off with where I want to sit, right? You want to have a camera angle that is a little bit above eye level and slightly pointing down like that camera, right? So it has a nice aesthetic peel. And it's called eye level with the camera. So once you have your tripod and camera set up, you're then going to want to do your lighting. If you have just one light, I like to do the light off to a 45-degree angle, just like this. So imagine you just had one camera and one light. Now at this point,
you can see it's already looking better. It's looking nice and full. Now what you can do, if you want to make it look a little bit more visually appealing, excuse me, you can take this light and then you can actually light up the back of the room and make it a different color. I can't control it right now because my camera is actually plugged in, but it's called 3-point lighting, essentially where you have one light in the front, one light off to the side, and one light in the back, and it really fills up the entire room. But you don't have to get too complicated. If you just have that one simple light, this can be done with a ring light. It can be done with one of these bigger lights. And I'll show you what happens even when you turn the lights off in the room. The camera picks it up, and this can even be a much more cinematic look. Watch, if I turn the brightness down a little bit, now it becomes a much more cinematic look. And this is where lighting up the back of the room would help to get that shadow off. Here, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So essentially, this can be created with just 2 lights, exactly what I'm doing. So we'll turn this on, we'll make this a different tone, and then we'll turn it down. And then you'll see on the main camera, which I'm going to be switching back and forth to, see, this just adds another little element. You can put it here, you can put it out of frame. So it doesn't have to be in the frame, but it's just adding another element of light to separate you from the background. Now watch what happens when I turn this up a little bit more. It casts this cool glow. Now this is a little bit more advanced, but I just want to give you this information in case you didn't have it, right? And this would be your microphone's plugged up to your computer if you're using an external mic. If you're using just an iPhone, you can have the iPhone here, or if you have a lavalier mic plugged into your camera, you're good to go. And you can basically go, hey guys, how are you? It's Ryan with Beyond Braid, or hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to film better short form content. So that's 2-point lighting. Just look at the difference when I turn this one off. Right? It doesn't look as cinematic, but when you turn this one on, it gives it this other element. Right? You can throw that back a little bit. What it does is the light is hitting me. It's putting on this little shadow and it's separating me from the background. So it takes away from this light a little bit, and again, it gives you that nice little look. So this is a visually aesthetic. It looks pretty good on camera. And what you can do, right, this is with the lights off. When the lights turn on, basically none of this matters. Right? So you can see everything kind of just disappears. And the lights are so strong that you don't really get that aesthetic appeal. That word is a tongue twister for me. So let's just show you one more time with the lights off so you can see what I'm talking about. This is if you want to really get that cinematic look and get that real dramatic look from your camera for your YouTube videos. Like for YouTube, I do this sort of style. It's another little edge. It's a little bit easier on the eyes to see. I stand out. I'm pretty clear. I'm the focus of the video. Let's say I was doing a watch review, right? You can have different camera angles. You can have one camera angle off to the side. If you're doing just talking head videos, it works to have multiple camera angles. But this is a basic long form YouTube setup. If you're doing talking head style videos, you have your main camera, you have your external audio, and then you have your lighting. So this was just a video to show you all how I do it. This is real time. Like I've been making my YouTube videos like this for a while, right? My last probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 videos have been in this office doing something similar to this. And I actually really like how this looks. So I hope that was a little bit insightful on how to set up your long form videos. Now that you've set up your whole YouTube studio and your lighting setup and your camera setup and your audio setup, it's time to press the record button and actually start the video. What do you do? Now there's a couple ways I like to do this, right? It all really starts by pre-planning. A lot of videos that I've done in the past have been just kind of winging it. I press the camera, I press go, and I know that I could just edit out all the pauses later, which you can, but it's good to pre-plan. That way you can execute on the best long-form video possible. So I'm gonna give you a few examples, just like this one. So this is a recent video that I did. It's called I've Been Dropshipping for 8 years, and I just kind of want to show you this. This is 2 pages of scripts. Now, it's a lot of words, right? It took a lot of time and it took a lot of thoughtful effort to do this. And basically how I broke it down was I started off with the topic, right? The first 30 seconds. Then I told a story to relate to the audience or viewer that proposed a problem. And then I worked into the solution and how they can do that. So the long form structure that I gave you, I basically mapped out, so when I pressed record, I didn't get stuck and get kind of camera shocked, which happens. I knew exactly what to say. So I'm just going to give you an example. I've been drop shipping since I was 14. That was the title. No, that was actually the first line. So I've been drop shipping since I was 14 years old, back in 2014. So that's how the video started. I've been drop shipping since I was 14. I've been drop shipping. See, sometimes you don't get it, and you gotta just kind of re-kick it, right? When you film long form, you're never pressing pause on the camera. You're just rolling through it. That's the beauty of it. So I've been drop shipping since I was 18 years old, back and forth to 2014. Hey guys, it's Ryan. Hey guys, it's Ryan Maya. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I was drop shipping since I was. See, I messed up. I don't know the exact line because there's a couple numbers there, but it's okay. You go back and do it again until you get it right. And then when you edit it, you just edit the right one that you want. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I've been drop shipping since 2014, more than 8 years. That was that good first line. Since then, I've generated multiple 7 figures online. I quit my 9-to-5 job, and I'm my full-time boss. I'm going to share with you the most important things that I've learned over the last 8 years of dropshipping to help you with your new dropshipping store. So that was the topic of the video, right? That was that front end. And now I moved into the story. I'm not going to do the whole entire video for you. I just want to make sure you get the point. But I've actually had more than 15 dropshipping stores. They all failed, right? So I'm telling the story, I'm telling the problem, and then I go into the 4 things that that made my current store and e-commerce business successful. Like, you need to get really good at making Facebook ads. You need to sell a product for a certain amount of price. You need to look at certain companies in your industry that are successful and kind of see what they're doing, right? And there's a whole other list of things. So that's what you have to do once you get on camera, and that's why I suggest you actually write something out before. Now, if you don't want to script a whole thing like this, for me, I've actually found it harder to make videos when I script it out almost line by line like this video. Now, on the flip side, I did another video, which is right here, and I'll provide you with pictures of these so you can see. This was another video idea, and it was the top 6 things I learned from a billionaire, working from a billionaire, and it's just this little line item right here. So I basically knew the topic I wanted to talk about, and scripting out just 6 bullet points instead of scripting out the whole entire script gives you a little bit more freedom to talk, and it makes you sound a little bit more natural when you're talking. So for example, I started the video, I worked for a billionaire for 2 years and learned some of the craziest business skills that have helped me develop my 8-figure business. Something along those lines was the topic. In this video, I'm going to share with you those 8 skills, and my favorite one is the last one. So make sure you watch the whole video. You can throw those little hooks in to make sure you have retention and make people watch the entire video. So I listed them here 1 through 6 in order of priority, and all I did was list one of the topics. So one of the topics was this billionaire helped me think bigger, and then I wrote 1 sentence, 10x, anything is possible if you remove your limiting beliefs. And then what I went on and did, and I just spoke to the camera and tried to make it as natural as possible. So here's an example of that. the first thing I learned from the billionaire was he helped me think bigger, right? By removing those limiting beliefs that I had in my mind prior to working for him. Now I can see how much bigger I can grow my current business. Instead of saying, hey, I want to be worth $5 million when I retire, now I think, hey, I want to be worth $500 million or $5 billion. And 5 years ago, I would have never thought that was possible because my think was so small, right? So by working for this billionaire, having conversations, see how he operates, I naturally developed this way to think bigger. So that was just a quick example of how I was kind of talking off the top of my head, and it sounds a little bit more natural than if I had the whole thing scripted out. Like I wanted to think bigger, and the billionaire taught me how to think bigger the way he taught me, and I was going like line by line. So you can pick whichever strategy or topic works best for you. All of this comes, and it's going to come with practice. You might be saying, hey, Ryan, you're pretty good on camera. Like, I'm never going to be as good as you. I don't even think I'm that good yet. But I've literally made thousands of videos of videos online, and I feel like now I'm just breaking through. So it's going to take practice, and I don't want you to get discouraged when your first video sucks, your 5th video sucks, your 10th video sucks, your 100th video sucks. As long as you're getting a little bit better with each, like I've done, it's taken me a while to get to this point, but each video I make, I try to be a little bit better, whether it's through scripting, whether it's through telling my story, whether it's through lighting or making the camera look better. So this is how I actually film my long form videos and how they actually come out in the process and the mindset that goes through actually filming the video. I want to show you exactly how I film my short form videos, and this can very well be a camera angle that I use to film short form videos where I'm just basically sitting at a desk talking on a topic. So I got a few camera angles so you can kind of catch everything. But first things first, if I'm going to film on my camera, I need to turn the camera vertically. So let's go ahead and do that first. So the thing I love about this tripod is this tripod allows me to easily turn the camera vertically. So let me just make sure I have the shot lined up where I want it, kind of adjust it, make this a little bit higher, and then zoom in, I think, a little bit, right? And that should be good. Then I'll flip this camera up so I can see it. So now I have my camera in the vertical position. So it's a little bit crooked. You want to make sure it's straight, right? I look a little bit crooked here, so I'm going to lift it just a little bit. You want to make sure you get this right because it's the little things that honestly matter when you're making this kind of content. So I saw I was a little crooked. Let's lift it a little bit. There we go. Worst case scenario, if it's super crooked still and you film super good content but it just doesn't look right, you can always edit it in post, which is on your software. So this looks like a very, very good angle. We have our multiple lighting sources. So we got our big main light, which could be your ring light or a window off to a 45-degree angle. And then you have your secondary light that's casting that nice shadow on you, or that beam of light to separate you from the background. So it looks nice and aesthetically pleasing. So if you're using an external mic, you can use an external mic. I'm using a little lavalier mic for this one, so that's okay. With this kind of content, again, it's going to be a lot more fast-paced. Your topics are going to be a lot more shorter, so you want to follow that short form guide that I gave you. But again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. You can make it your own. So for example, this is what I would do. I would make sure my microphone is on, it's connected in the camera, always double check, make sure your camera's actually recording, make sure you have the SIM card in, your SD card it's in. Once you double checked everything, triple checked everything, you can then proceed with the content. So let's just take this one topic of here's 6 things I learned from working for a billionaire, right? So I need a hook first. So the hook for that I think would be, I worked for a billionaire for 2 years and learned some crazy stuff, right? That sounds like a cool hook. I worked for a billionaire for 2 years
Didn't sound that right. I worked for a billionaire for 2 years and learned some crazy stuff. Still doesn't sound right. Let's try it like this. I worked for a bit. See, sometimes you just got to go, right? Here's 6 things I learned from working for a billionaire. No, almost there. Here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for a billionaire for 2 years. That was better. See, you sometimes got to have a little bit higher energy when you're doing short form. It's just higher pace, it's higher energy, it's how you get more attention. So you can see my tone kind of changes from long form video to short form video. I act a little bit more exciting. It's just the nature of the type of content. So I just told you I learned 6 things, right? Now I got to go straight into those 6 things. I'm not really going to tell you a problem and then a solution because that's just not what the video is about. This is 6 things I learned from a billionaire. So we got the hook. Now it's the first and most important thing was he taught me to think bigger. Instead of thinking in pennies, think in millions, think in billions. That was 1. Let's see the number. Money, wealth formula. The second thing he taught me was the wealth formula. First, you got to make money, you got to store money, and then invest money in passive income assets. It's number 2, right? Super short and concise video verses here. And again, if you mess up, just redo it. Don't press pause, don't pause the camera, just redo that line. You could always edit it after. The third thing was sales. The third thing was mastering sales, how to communicate with customers and overcome objections. So that wasn't too great. Let's try it again. The third thing was mastering sales, how to communicate with customers and how to overcome objections. That was a lot better. And let's just go with the 4th one, the power of real estate, right? And number 4, the power of real estate. I saw this build. See, I was going a little bit more complicated. I was going to make the video longer, so I cut myself off. So let's just say the power of real estate. And number 4 was the actual power of real estate. Cash flow, appreciation, and most importantly, depreciation. And then usually I'll throw in like one little lesson at the end. Maybe if you're looking to learn more about business, try go working for a billionaire, right? If you're stuck right now and want to learn more about business, try working for a billionaire or just follow me for more. See, that was just a little call to the action at the end, telling them to follow me for more tips, tricks on business in this kind of niche. So that was just an example of what I do in short form content, right? The content is a lot more precise. I really focus on that hook once everything is set up, and then I just kind of run through it. And sometimes if I have enough ideas written down, I won't even pause the camera. I'll just flip to the next page and go through my next ideas, and then you could chop that up when you go to edit the videos and turn it into multiple videos. So for example, I've been dropshipping for 8 years. I've been dropshipping for 8 years, and here's exactly what I learned. High-paced, that's a pretty solid hook, because someone to be dropshipping for 8 years is like the entire lifespan of that Shopify dropshipping industry. So that's pretty shocking, that's pretty mind-blowing. Here's what I've learned, right? What did I learn? So I don't, you could, in this type of content, you could give them the backstory. Like, I used to do the old way of dropshipping, and I failed until I discovered the brand new way. And here's what I discovered, right? So old way, here's the new way, and then give them the top 5 topics on the new way. So this is just what works for me. This is what I do. You can apply this to whatever niche you're in. You can apply this to whatever industry you're in or whatever piece of content or type of content you want to make. This is just the strategy. It's got to be vertical. You got to have nice light, nice audio, and then you get right into the content with fast pace and high energy.
So here we're going to learn how to edit a video for short form content, a vertical video. So this is Final Cut Pro. It is standard from Apple. You can use Adobe Premiere. You can use Canva. You can use iMovie, but I like to use Final Cut Pro. It's what I've gotten good at. So first of all, we're going to come over here and right click. We're going to click New Project. So for this project, we want to make sure we are getting the right 3 components. So your video format, the resolution, and the frame rate. So for vertical video, Final Cut has an option for vertical video. And you can see here the resolution. They automatically set it to the lowest resolution. I come over here and put it to the highest resolution, which is 2160 by 3840. You want to make sure your frame rate is at 29.9. This is standard, right? So if you ever see a normal YouTube video, it's typically filmed at 29 frame rate. If you see a TV show, it's 29 frame rate. So vertical, 2160 by 3840. If your editing software doesn't have that vertical option, you can do custom and then put in the exact dimensions we just discussed right here. But we do have that luxury. So vertical, let's change it back, and let's change it back. Boom. Vertical, 2160 by 3840, 29 frame rate. And then you click OK. So you can see it has a vertical layout. What I like to do is just zoom it out a little bit so you can see the whole thing just to make sure your clip fits. So now I'm going to bring in the video we filmed earlier. And you can see some cameras won't turn the actual clip. Some cameras will. In this case, my camera did not turn the clip. So you can see it's sideways once the camera is vertical. Easy fix to that is you come over here to this little button right here, and you click transform, and you then rotate the clip, right? So we want it at 90 degrees, perfect. And now what you're gonna do, this is why I like to zoom out, you wanna extend that clip till it's at the edge, maybe even go a little bit beyond just to make sure there's no black edge around your video, and you click fit. And now your video is vertical. So what you have to do is you have to come and cut out all the pauses on your clip. So this is the clip I filmed in the last section, and I'm going to take that exact clip, that example clip that I did, and cut it up for you. So the editing stuff is not that great. It's not that fun. It's the dirty work, but it's got to be done. So I'm just going to go through it. So that was that first clip I like. We'll make a cut, edit it out, and then we got to get the end of the clip. So this video is a little longer than normal, just because I have all that extra information. Usually it's just straight content, and you'll see pauses in your audio clip. So it's a little easier to edit. This one's a little bit messier. So all I'm doing here is just selecting the clips I want. Just again, I want to reiterate that to you. All right, so these are the 4 clips we wanted. We got all the meat and bones. So now what I do is I want to zoom in, and you want to cut off all of the edges. So you can see I cut off the beginning, so the clip starts right away. You're basically cutting out all the pauses, all that dead noise. So we come over here, we'll cut and cut that out. So you can see no pause, just goes right away. Then we'll come over to the next one. Boom.
Second thing you taught me was the wealth formula. First, you got to make money, you got to store money, and then invest money in passive income assets.
So there's a pause here at the end. I'll cut it out. And there's a pause here at the beginning I can see because there's no sound. We'll cut that out as well.
The third thing was mastering sales, how to communicate with customers and how to overcome objections.
All right. So that's basically the basic edited down version of how to simply edit short form content. So let's just watch it back one more time.
Here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for Millionaire for 2 years. The first and most important thing was he taught me to think bigger. Instead of thinking in pennies, think in millions, think in billions. Second thing he taught me was the wealth formula. First, you got to make money, you got to store money, and then invest money in passive income assets. The third thing was mastering sales, how to communicate with customers and how to overcome objections.
Boom. So you can see nice and clean, no pauses, nice and short, 20 seconds. And now what we'll do is we can export that, or if you want to take it a little bit further, you can do some crop-ins. Now what I want to show you to take it a step further, if you've seen on social media, you could see all of these clips. I'll bring up an example right here. I just happen to have this one on my desktop. You could see these clips, right, with these kind of subtitles. Just want to turn the sound off. So if you want to get these kind of subtitles, I'll show you how to do that right now. Warning, it is a little time consuming, it is intensive, but I'm going to show you how to do it manually anyways. What you're going to do is you're going to come over to this little text bar at the top, and you're going to click titles, and you're going to look for the basic title, which is right here. So we'll now bring this back over, and you can see we have a nice title right in the middle. Now, to get those types of captions I showed you earlier, you're going to have to change the font. Now, there are a bunch of font styles, which you could see right here. I downloaded this font called the Bold font from Google. You simply download it and then upload it to your software. And then the font will change. So you can see we now have the Bold font right there. Now, to get it that special color, you have to edit the font a little bit better. So you have to go to Outline. You're going to select the Outline button, and then the color that you want is going to be black. So we'll make it black, and then you can do a little bit of blur. You can make it a little wider. Let me just zoom this in a little bit more so you can see what we're doing. So you can see that blur changes a little bit more. I don't know what I just did. Let me undo that. So yeah, the width, we don't need it as wide. We'll make it a little blurry. The opacity will reduce a little bit. So you just got to play with it to see where you like it. So width, we don't need that. Obviously, we don't need it so thick. I would say like right there is probably good. You can see it just gives it that nice little outline. So now here comes the fun and tedious part. We'll get rid of this. What you have to do is basically go word by word. I know this sucks, but if you want to do it manually and you want to have these titles, this is how you do it. So you zoom all the way in. So basically listen to it back. Here's 6. Ready? So you click on this, double click it to type. Here's 6. So here's 6. Then what you do, you take this and then you cut it, and then you type in the next word. So the next words are mind-blowing. So we'll bring it over here. Here's 6. Mind-blowing. So here's what it looks like. So let's bring this one a little longer. Things I learned. So we got to cut it right here again. I learned. And then here, working for a billionaire. So you got to come back. Again, this is very tedious. No one said it'd be fun. Here we go. Working for a billionaire. You don't want to take it too far where it's going outside, because all the short form platforms have like and follow buttons here. So you want to keep it generally in the center. And then I said something else for 2 years. For 2 years. All right, and then just go ahead and check on your work really quick. Here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for a billionaire for 2 years. So there you go. And I'm not going to do the whole video, obviously, right, because that would take forever, but you have to continue on and do it. So it takes a little bit of time. It is, like I said, it's not fun. I'm just actually, no, let me not delete those really quick because I want to show you something. Does take some time, so let's just watch it back again. Here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for a billionaire for 2 years. Okay. So now, if you've seen some emojis or some sounds, you have to go in and download and upload those by themselves. So right here, I'm going to show you, I have a separate YouTube folder on my desktop with sounds. So you can see I have some bam, I have buzzers, clicks, drums, farts, quacks, chings. So I think we can put a ching there maybe. I think we could also put a click. Let's do a mouse click. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to add these in, right? So at mind blowing, I want a little click noise. So you can click the frame, and then you just bring this over here. So it made that little click noise, just makes it a little bit more engaging. And when it says working for a billionaire, I want to add the cha-ching sound. So billionaire is right there. We'll add the little cha-ching sound right there. We'll cut that up, make this a little lower, and then we'll play it back.
Here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for a billionaire for 2 years.
There we go. So a lot cleaner, and it's got a little bit more flair to it. Now here's actually how to change the color of the words like you may have seen. So what I like to do is copy and paste the clip right over it. And I want to change the color of the word 6. So when it lands on 6, I want it to change color. So I'll bring this over here. And then I'll come into the letter. So double click over here. I'm going to highlight the letter or number 6. I'm going to come over to here where it says face. And then I'm going to change the color to, let's say, green. So now what happens when you play it back? Boom. See? You can see that it changed colors when it landed on it. So now I'm going to do it again. Let's do it again for working for a billionaire. So when it lands on billionaire, I want it to change again. So we'll put that there. We will click on the word billionaire, highlight that. I just realized I spelled billionaire wrong. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. And then we'll change the color once again. So let's play it back.
Here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for a billionaire for 2 years.
See? So this is the standard of how to add captions to a short form piece of content. I know it isn't the most fun, like I mentioned before, but
here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for a billionaire for 2 years.
It looks pretty cool. And then once again, to go and export that, let me just exit this. What you can do is, this is the presetting I have, but you can click export file. You can click next, and then it's going to save to your desktop and name it short form 1. Save, and you're good to go.
Here's 6 mind-blowing things I learned working for a billionaire for 2 years.
So I want to share with you a time-saving hack. Now, captions are super prevalent right now on all short form content, and adding captions by yourself is pretty annoying, right? It's very time consuming. It's pretty annoying. So I want to show you a quick shortcut, and it's available on the App Store. So I'm going to go over to my phone, do this quick screen share. This is the app right here, this purple app called Captions. I'll go to the App Store so you can see exactly which one it is. Captions. And it's this purple one right here at the top. So what this app does is absolutely amazing. It does it for you automatically, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So this is what it looks like when you come into the app. You click Create, pick from Library, and then let's just pick one of these recent videos.
Why is this lot
I already did that one, but let's pick this one.
Why is this lot $30 million on Miami Beach? It's because you get.
So you click Go, you click Continue, and you click Proceed with Magic. And the magic is it applies the content by itself, or the captions by itself. Let's just make that a little lower. So what you could do here now is edit the style. They have all different kinds of captions. So you could do this one, and you'll see. You can do this type, the bold, the focus. I like this one as well. And you always want to keep it center, right? You don't want to let it go outside. You can adjust the color. I like to turn the color off. And then you can change the color of that little box. So this is a super, super, super helpful app. It's, I think, like $8.99 a month. So compared to doing it yourself or paying an editor to do it per video, this is a lot simpler. You just click save, export to camera roll, and then it saves to your camera roll. So the Captions app is very, very helpful, super time saver, and it's going to save you a lot of money, save you a lot of time. So that's version 1 on how to get captions on your short form content. So I want to talk about a few ways to outsource your editing. Now, if you do not want to edit your videos and you want to have someone else edit it for you, there's plenty of ways you could do this. Number 1, you can hire a full-time editor and you can post jobs on Upwork or Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and hire someone full-time for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. If you're not in the position to do that, but you still want to outsource your editing relatively cheap, there's a few solutions for you. So you can come over to a website called Fiverr.com or Upwork.com, where you can essentially find freelance workers in the Philippines, Pakistan, Bangladesh, people who work for a lot less money than here in the States. So here is Fiverr.com, and this is the process of how I outsource my editing when I want to. I do some edits myself, and I do some edits that I outsource. So basically, you can come over and type in YouTube editing. Whoops. I'm telling you, I really can't spell. So you can see there's plenty of people who do all types of editing. And basically what I suggest you do is you send them a message with the exact type of editing that you want done. So for example, right, you can see I've messaged a whole bunch of people and I've worked with a whole bunch of people. You're going to send a generic message saying, hey, I want my YouTube videos edited. They're between 5 and 10 minutes, and then show them an example of a creator that you want your videos to look like. So if you want to look like Mr. Beast or Graham Stephan or one of these big YouTubers, send them a link and say, hey, I want my editing style to be like this. And then typical rates can be anywhere from $10 to $20 a video, from $20 to $100 a video, and then depending if you want it even super high quality edited, you can do $200, $400, $500 a video. Right, it's all your preference, but essentially you'll just come to Fiverr or Upwork, any of these websites, and type in YouTube editing. And again, I would message a whole bunch of sellers. That way you can really vet out who works best for you. Once you actually find an editor, how are you going to work with them? So what you do is you come over to Google Drive, right? So Google has this Google Drive section. You can see I have a bunch of folders, and I have a folder called Ryan My YouTube. And what you do is you upload your raw files to Google Drive, and then you share the link with your editor. So this is the current editor that I'm working with right now. He's okay. I switch editors from time to time. Sometimes they get complacent. So that's just a method. You share the link, email them the link, they download it, and then typically send it back. So if you want to outsource your editing, this is a very affordable way. Right now I pay, just depending on the video, sometimes it's $100 a video, sometimes it's $50 a video, sometimes it's more. So it all just depends on how long the video is, how much editing you need done. But again, if you want to outsource, this is a great solution. If not, learn to edit yourself. Editing is a great tool to have in your bag, because sometimes you just need things turned around quickly that you can just knock out yourself. I do that. That's my exact process. If I need something quick, I just do it myself. If I have a little bit of time and I'm planning ahead, I can outsource that edit. So great way to outsource editing. How I edit my long form YouTube videos. So what I'm going to do is come over to my library, click new project, and we're going to do a horizontal video. So the resolution I want it in is in 4K. If you filmed on a less than 4K camera, like an iPhone or a smartphone or an older camera, you can do 1080p. I filmed in 4K. You want to have the resolution 3840 by 2160. That is the resolution for 4K. And then 29.97 frame rate. That is what you see on YouTube, on TV, and what looks the most normal to the human eye. So 4K, 3840 by 2160 is the resolution, and 29.97 frame rate. So we'll click OK, and then this new clip will generate. So once I've found the meat and bones of my video, and I've cut out all the pauses, what I'll then do is I'll do crop-ins. So I'll come in, and then I like that one. I'm emphasizing a point, so we'll go ahead, click the transform button right here, and then we will zoom in, right? So we'll crop in a little bit there. Skills that have helped me develop my 8-figure business. In this video, I'm going to share with And my favorite, right, I'm putting emphasis on that word. We'll crop in a little bit.
Favorite one is the last one, so make sure you watch the whole video. The first thing I learned from the billionaire was he helped me think bigger, right?
So we'll add in one more crop in. And then I like to do this pretty much throughout the majority of the video, just to keep the eye, it just keeps the video less boring, and you'll see what it does for the eye, right? Watch as this clip is playing. It's a normal clip, and then it zooms in, catches your attention again, and then zooms out, catches your attention again, and then it'll zoom in, catch your attention again, right? So it's constantly changing. And I'll go and do that throughout the whole video. And the way I like to do it is, honestly, I alternate every other clip, one normal, one not, one normal, one not, just to keep that engagement high and that pace pretty high, so the viewer's always seeing something change. I just pointed my eye. I know you can't see me on the camera, but that's what happened. So now what we're going to do is drag in our clip. And this was a clip that I used for the course. And what I like to do here really is I like to first start by cleaning up the edges and editing out all the pauses. So we'll go through that, and then you just got to kind of listen to it and take out all the pauses, because on YouTube, pauses allow people to leave your video, and you lose retention, which affects the video. It doesn't let the video perform as well. So anytime you see little pauses like this, right, I'll zoom in, where there's dead sound, you want to edit that out, because it just will sound a lot better. Now, this is just a boring, not fun time of editing. It's time consuming. There's some softwares that take out these little cuts, but I like to do it by hand just to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So you can basically see the trick here is to cut out everything to make it flow a lot more seamless, and ultimately it will make your videos much less boring when you cut out all of these pauses. So that was a lot better. Now, since this is a pre-recorded clip for the course, and I did an example of my long form video in here, I'm going to find out those sections, and then I'm going to clean it up and show you exactly how this more or less should look. So now what I've done is I've basically cut that long clip into the sections that I've wanted, right? I kept what I wanted. I kept the meat of the video, the good parts, and now I'm going to go through and watch it and cut out all of those pauses I see. Like right here is one, right? We want to make this flow as smoothly as possible, and I'll clean up the edges of these cuts, take out these pauses, and you'll see just how much better this clip flows. All right, so now you can see I've cut out all of the pauses, and you can see all these itty bitty clips that add up to one video, and it just flows a lot better.
And learn some of the craziest business skills that have helped me develop my 8-figure business. In this video, I'm going to share with you those 8 skills. My favorite one is the last one, so make sure you watch the whole video. The first thing I learned from the billionaire was he helped me think bigger, right?
Right, so you can see it just flows a lot better. So that's how you cut out all of the pauses. And for your long form videos, you have to do that to make sure you're keeping your viewer engaged and you're keeping your retention high. Once you've added in your crop ins, you can then go ahead and start adding in some B-roll or graphics. So what I like to do, there's a few paid sites that you can go to, like storyblocks.com. You can sign up for an account. It's a little pricey, but you basically find stock footage or images, music, all that kind of stuff. Another free website that I use is Pexels. So you can see here how I do my B-roll is I'll come over to my clip again.
2 years and learn some of the craziest business skills that have helped me develop my 8-figure.
So I worked for a billionaire. So I'll come over to Pexels and I'll type in businessman. Right? Whoops. Businessman. And then you'll click video, and then you'll see some sort of clip here. And just you find something that looks similar. So I'm looking for something that looks like working for a billionaire. So maybe we can do businessman coaching. Let's see. Again, we're doing this in real time so you can understand with me. So here, I like this little clip. Just basically download it, and then I basically drag and drop on top, and then I'll zoom in and cut it down a little bit. So when it says billionaire
for 2 years,
right? And then I want to find another clip as well to put there. So let's go back to businessman. Let's try this one. I like the way this one looks a little bit. Then we'll go put that same clip here. Boom.
years and learn some of the craziest.
Right? So in the beginning, you want it to be fast paced. So this is what it looks like so far.
I worked for a billionaire for 2 years and learned some of the craziest business skills that have helped me develop my 8-figure business. In this video, I'm going to share with you those.
Okay, and then what we'll do here, I talk about 6 skills, so I will type in skills. Let's type in maybe business skills and see what videos come up. Maybe we can so you sometimes got to search through these B-roll platforms. If you can take your own B-roll, that would always be the best. But sometimes that's not possible. So here, I like this one. Computer work. And then I like, let's see. I like this one. And then I like this one. So then what I'll do is I'll come back, of course, to my video. And I'll put all those clips in. So let's see, we'll put them about a second apart from each other, and then we'll cut them right here. So let's see how that looks.
Develop my 8-figure business. In this video, I'm going to share with you those 8 skills. My favorite one is the last one, so make sure you watch the whole video. The first thing I learned from the billionaire was he helped me think bigger.
So where I put think bigger, maybe I can come here and put think big. Oh, I like this one. It's clearly someone thinking about something. And then we will put this over here. All right, so let's go back and see what we got so far.
I worked for a billionaire for 2 years and learned some of the craziest business skills that have helped me develop my 8-figure business. In this video, I'm going to share with you those 8 skills. My favorite one is the last one, so make sure you watch the whole video. The first thing I learned from the billionaire was he helped me think bigger, right? By removing those limiting beliefs that I had in my...
So you can see, adding in B-roll definitely makes it a lot more aesthetically pleasing to watch, makes it a lot more fast-paced. You have things constantly changing on the screen, which just make it a lot nicer to watch. Now, I do want to show you what this video actually looks like when it was completely edited and how quick and fast-paced and how much more B-roll and graphics that we added in. So this is what happens when you get really, really good at it.
I'm 25 years old and I spent 2 years working for a billionaire, and I learned 6 life-changing skills that I want to share with you today. Hey, my name is Ryan Maya. I own a multiple 7-figure online brand, and my goal over the next few minutes is to share with you these few frameworks that I learned that can help improve your life in business and with money. The way I'm going to structure...
Once you get a little bit more experience, a little bit more elaborative, you can start adding in more edits like graphics, music, and all that kind of good stuff. But this was just a very simple layout on how to edit these long form videos. This is not an editing course because editing takes a really, really long time to get really good at. I outsource some of my editing at this point. So in the beginning, for years and years, I did my own editing. But once you want to get more elaborative, it's going to get to some point where you're eventually going to get good enough where you can outsource your editing. But for now, you can do basics like this. And again, the editing is not too big of a deal. It's really all about the content you put out and the quality of words and connection you're building with your audience. Now, if you want to get captions like this, where you kind of have the changing colors, you have the changing emojis, you have the cool text, the graphics, all that kind of stuff, there's only really two ways that you can do captions like this. You can either edit it yourself and take that time-consuming process, or you can hire a video editor. And where I have done this in the past is I go to Fiverr or Upwork.com and outsource this. So I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if you come over to Fiverr.com, you can literally type in TikTok editing. Right? So you can see I will edit TikToks, Reels, and Shorts, and they'll put the captions on it for you. Now, the process of hiring someone like this, look, you can click on their thing. And I would say a normal price point for this kind of stuff is anywhere from $5 to $15 per video. If someone wants to charge you more, I think that's a little expensive. I was doing this for a while and I was getting it done at $10 per video. The trick here is you tell them, hey, I'm going to be making a lot of content. I want this to be a long-term relationship. If you can give me a better price, I'll do all my content with you. That's what's worked for me. And in the past, I've gotten multiple editors to do it for $10 per video. And basically, you can see it says $20, but you can click Contact Seller here and basically type that exact message. Oh, look, see, I've actually worked with this person before. So trust me, I've done this a lot of times. And what you could do is literally take the same message, that same beginning message. Let me see if I have it here that I can show you. Put, hey brother, I'm looking for short form editing. I would like to mimic the styles of Alex Hormozi, Grant Cardone, Ryan Pineda, and I give them an example of the video that I want it to look like. So for example, let's see if this video is still up. So this is exactly what I wanted. Right? I wanted the captions to look exactly like that, so I made it clear. I've already filmed a vertical video in short form, just need the subtitles. And they say, yes, I'm available. And then at that point, you could take this exact message and send it to 5, 6, 7, 8 editors and say, hey, can you make one for me for free just to see what it looks like? Some will do it, some will don't. Some won't do it, but the people that I found that actually want to work will do it for free. And then at that point, you could just vet it out yourself. So hiring a TikTok editor, not that hard. You just take your raw file that you shot in vertical form, and then you upload it to a Google Drive, Google folder like so. Let me show you. Show, don't tell, right? So you'll basically come over to Drives. So Ryan Maya YouTube, and I put the videos I want my editor to edit right here, and then they get it. And then they'll send it back to you with the short form content. So it's another form. It's a little bit more expensive than the Captions app. But if you have the budget to do so and you don't want to spend hours and hours and hours adding the captions yourself, I think this is a great alternative. And it's scalable, right? The more content you can produce, the less you're going to burn out. If you can have someone help you with the editing, that's always a plus. So Fiverr, Upwork.com, great for editing short form content, and it goes the same for long form editing as well. If you want to outsource that, this is a great place to find an editor. We're now entering the section which probably excites me the most, which is talking about YouTube and YouTube growth. And this is where I feel you can make the most impact if you get it right. Now, there's a few factors that go into winning on YouTube, and we're going to go through all of that right now. And I'm going to give you the top points to be successful on YouTube. So first, you have to know, how does YouTube actually work? Like, is it just a social media platform? Do you just post videos and grow? No, there's a lot of key elements to what actually makes YouTube tick and how it actually works and how the growth works on the platform. It's very simple. When you post videos on YouTube, the YouTube algorithm looks at your video and looks at two basic things. And those are click-through rate and average view duration. That is all the YouTube algorithm cares about, is these two things. Now, in English, what does that actually mean? How many people click on your video, and then how long people watch your video. So click-through rate is how many people click on your video, and average view duration is how long people are actually watching your video. That is all the YouTube algorithm cares about, and that's all the YouTube algorithm looks at when it's like, hey, do I want to promote this video to more people? Do I not want to give this video any views? Are people clicking on this video? Are people watching the whole thing? That's all the YouTube algorithm cares about. So how exactly do you win on YouTube? It's very simple. You have to have your videos get more clicks and make people watch the whole video. If that's the only goal you have in mind when making a YouTube video, is how do I get more people to click on this video? And then how do I get them to watch the entire thing? If you can master that, you will have explosive growth on YouTube. That's what the best in the business do, the best in the YouTube business, the best creators, that's what they do. They've mastered getting people to see their video and click on it and then watch the whole entire thing. If you can master those two things, you will be a successful YouTuber. So let's start with click-through rate and explaining what actually is click-through rate and how to improve your click-through rate. Click-through rate can be known as packaging. So there's two parts in the packaging with click-through rate, and it's basically explained as a thumbnail and a title. That is what your packaging is. So for example, I took Alex Hormozi's video. You could see the thumbnail is this picture. So it's Alex plus all of the ideas. And then the title, 14 life lessons that I wish I knew earlier. So the thumbnail shows all of these ideas that made him millions. And then the title explains 14 life lessons that he wished he knew earlier in life to probably make millions faster, right? Each alone, they're cool, right? 14 lessons or 14 life lessons I wish I knew earlier. If someone told me that, I really don't, it sounds cool, but there's no context there, right? Like why would I listen to that? What purpose is that going to tell me? How is that going to help me? Same with the thumbnail, right? The thumbnail is telling a little bit of a story. If you saw the video just with the thumbnail, you could kind of put the picture together like, oh, these little things made me millions. But when you put them together, that's when they work in harmony as your packaging, right? 14 life lessons that I wish I knew earlier, and they probably made him millions. And now I'm thinking, hey, what are these little 14 things? So that's probably going to make me want to click on the video, getting that click-through rate higher. I want to stress this tremendously. You cannot overlook thumbnails. YouTube and the platform, there's so many creators nowadays making great quality content in all different types of niches, whether it's finance, whether it's entertainment, whether it's cooking, whatever it is. People are getting really, really good at this stuff. So in order for your videos to stand out and your thumbnails and titles to stand out, you cannot overlook this aspect because it's the first thing people see. And if it looks shitty on the outside, why would they think the video is going to be good, right? So whenever I see a shitty thumbnail, your brain literally scrolls past and it's like, there's no way I'm watching that video or clicking on that video. So thumbnails are crucial to YouTube growth. A good versus bad thumbnail literally can make or break you. You can put all of your effort and spend a week or 2 weeks filming a video and then a week or 2 weeks editing a video. And if you don't package it correctly and you have a shitty thumbnail and a shitty title, all of your hard work will have been for nothing because I promise you that video will get 0 views, no matter how good that video is. If your video was literally The Wolf of Wall Street, but the cover was not great, the title, the packaging was not great, that video is not going to get any views. So I promise you, you cannot overlook this. You have to take thumbnails and titles seriously. When I started taking thumbnails and titles seriously and putting actual effort into them and taking an hour, 2 hours to create these thumbnails, that is when I started seeing exponential growth in my channels. Now let's talk about what actually makes a great thumbnail. There's a few different aspects that you can put together, but I've pretty much broken it down to 3 simple steps that you could focus on when making your thumbnails. 3 elements of a fire thumbnail include: it's number 1, simple. It's number 2, it exaggerates something. And number 3, it has conflict or mystery in the thumbnail. So let's dive a little bit deeper into each. A thumbnail being simple means that when someone looks at it, they can understand the message right away. It's simple. It doesn't have a lot of colors. I'd say no more than 3 main colors. And there's few shapes. There's few graphics. It's very simple to look at. That way, when you're scrolling down your feed or a viewer scrolling down their feed and they see it, they can immediately recognize what that video is probably going to be about, right? Keep it as simple as possible. When it's too busy, your eyes get lost and you can't really understand what the video is going to be about. Number 2 is to exaggerate. So you're simplifying but making an obvious version of the point you're trying to make. So you want it goes back to simple and then picking back off. Simple but exaggerate. So if you are scrolling down your feed, you see something that catches your attention, and that's what the exaggeration portion is meant to do, but it's also simplified at the same time. And then having a conflict or mystery in the thumbnail. So when a viewer looks at the thumbnail, they should have a question and be like, hey, what is that? What's happening in that thumbnail? Let me click on it so I can find out why. Now, I think these examples, I'll be able to explain it a little bit more clearly. So Ryan Trahan created this video. I survived the world's quietest room. And he packaged it with this thumbnail. So you can assume the video is going to be that he spent 41 minutes in the world's quietest room, and he looks like he's in some sort of anguish. So it's simple, right? There's 3 main colors, white, black, and orange. Simple. It exaggerates, right? He's in a jumpsuit. It looks like he's held in jail. It looks like he's having a really rough time sitting in a room, right? That's exaggerating something. And there's conflict or mystery. You're thinking, what is the world's quietest room? Why did he have to survive it? Like, is there danger being in the world's quietest room? So it tags onto all 3, and there's a reason that video got 20 million views in just 1 year. Simple, it exaggerated, and it had some conflict or mystery. Mr. Beast, 95 million views. Would you swim the sharks for $100,000? Let's go back to simple. Not a lot of shapes. 3 main colors, white, blue, and the shark is gray. 2 main graphics. It's his simple face and the simple shark. Would you swim with sharks for $100,000? It's clearly exaggerating that he was swimming with a great white. Obviously, there wouldn't be a great white swimming with him. Or conflict or mystery. Is he actually swimming with this great white? So you're scrolling down your feed and you see that video. You're immediately drawn to it because there's a guy next to a great white shark underwater. You're like, holy shit. And then 2, it's like, is he actually swimming with the shark? And if he's offering $100,000, maybe they're actually swimming with great whites. So it tacks onto all 3 of those very well. Just another example. This is Noah Kagan asking super yacht owners how to make $1 million. Very simple in the fact that the text really stands out. So how did you get rich? That's the whole purpose of that video. It's exaggerating because it looks like he's in the ocean asking people on a big yacht, right? The big yacht is the exaggerating portion. Hey, how did you get rich? And the conflict and mystery is, how did these rich people actually buy the boat? So it makes you want to click and find out. Same with Grant Stephan and the $78 Tesla. How did he buy a Tesla for $78? There's a lot of conflict and mystery there. Like, how did he do it? It's simple because there's basically 2-3 colors. There's a big Tesla, $78 Tesla, calling it out, and it's obviously exaggerating because he probably didn't buy a Tesla for $78, but that's pretty interesting, right? You want to see, like, how did he do that? Why did he do that? So these are all great examples of great thumbnails and great titles, and the views all show for it. Now, the second part to YouTube's algorithm is average view duration, or as YouTube likes to refer to it as retention, right? How long someone watches your video and how long they stay, right? So basically means how long someone watches your video after they click it. So you click on a video, it's a 10-minute video. If you stay for 5 minutes of that 10-minute video, that video had a 50% retention rate. So here's a couple of examples of exactly what I'm talking about. On the left, you have some good retention. On the right, you have bad retention. So you can see at the 1 minute and 29 mark, 80% of the people who clicked on that video are still watching the video. That is extremely, extremely good. Where a bad video is 42% of people are watching after 1 minute and 30 seconds. You can see there's a steep drop off right here in the beginning of the video. That means the intro of this video was not good. I didn't clearly communicate what the video was going to be about. I didn't hook my viewer in, so a lot of people clicked. They watched it for a little bit and they're like, I'm bouncing. And that really hurts the video's performance. Whereas this video has very strong retention for the first minute and 30 seconds. There's not that much of a steep drop off, and more people are watching, and you can see they're staying for almost 40% of people are watching the entire video, which is a really, really good stat. Here, it finished like only 10% of people stay all the way to the end of the video. So this is why this video is performing well. This video is not performing as well. So you can see 62% of viewers watching at 30-second mark, which is below typical. So not great, right? That's what good and bad retention looks like. The longer a viewer actually watches the video, the more YouTube will recommend it. And if YouTube starts recommending your video more, that's how you get more views. So if you can keep your average view duration up and your retention up, YouTube will want to recommend that more because it's like, hey, they're watching this video longer, so it must be a good video. It must have quality content in it. Let me show it to more and more people and see how it continues to perform. Now we're going to talk about YouTube titles. And the basic goal with a title is to keep your title as simple and as short as possible, easy to read, and less amount of characters, right? So this is my main title strategy and what I've studied and seen a lot of other YouTubers do. So you should ask yourself these three main questions. What is the simplest way to tell the viewer what the video is about? How can I use the fewest letters or characters or words? And then what is the most interesting way that I can express what the video is about? So you want to keep this very concise. YouTube only gives you about 50 characters until it like puts the three little dots and then you can't see the rest of the title. And by having short, simple titles, it's easy for people to see what the video is going to be about. It's easy for people to understand what the video is going to be about and what they're going to get from clicking on that video. And it's another way to tell the story. So if you can master making a very simple title, which is so much easier said than done. I struggle with this a lot. And I probably write out 10, 15 titles for one video and try to do it as short as possible while still making sense. So let's go back to these same videos that we just discussed. They're simple, they're short, and they're uniquely expressed. Asking super yacht owners how to make $1 million. It's simple. You clearly understand what the video is going to be about, and it's uniquely expressing what the video is going to be about. Instead of asking the title, hey, how did you get rich, right? Asking a boat owner how he got rich, or how did you get rich? That's just boring. It's not giving enough context. It's a little too simple. But when you throw in words like super yacht owners and $1 million, those are very eye-catching. It's a unique way to express it, but it's still pretty short. Same with Graham Stephan, how I bought a Tesla for $78 a month. It's very simple. He's communicating the point very simply, like he's going to tell you how he bought a Tesla for $78 a month, and it's uniquely expressed. A boring way you could have said that is how I got a really good deal on a Tesla. That's probably not going to get as many views as how I bought a Tesla for $78 a month. You see what I mean, right? If you can uniquely express the title and the title in a short and simple way, that's how you're going to get more views. Ryan Traham, I survived the world's quietest room. Instead of so that video was about him going in this room that is completely soundproof and you can't hear anything out, you can't hear anything in. So he could have easily titled that video, I visited the world's quietest room. But it's not that exciting, right? But by packaging this thumbnail and title and saying, I survived the world's quietest room, that makes you question, hey, like, he's probably going to do a challenge. Like, was there some hardship in there, right? So it's simple, it's short, and it's uniquely expressing. Same with Mr. Beast. Would you swim with sharks for $100,000? The character count is there. It's pretty short. It is simple. And it's asking you a pretty straightforward question. Would you swim with sharks for $100,000? It's uniquely expressing it, where he said, if you swim with these sharks, I'll give you $100,000. That's actually kind of more unique. But instead of, hey, me and my friends jumped in a tank with sharks and I gave them money. That's long. It's not as exciting as would you swim the sharks for $100,000. So as you make more videos and come up with more ideas, you'll get better and better at coming up with titles. And just to hit it home once again, a great title and a great thumbnail will give you lots of clicks. Very simple. If you package your video properly, right, thumbnail and title, you'll get lots of clicks. And that will ultimately lead to more views, which is your goal. Have a great title, have a great thumbnail, package it together, get a lot of clicks, will help you get more views. I'm going to show you exactly how you can keep your retention high. There's basically 3 main principles. Number 1 is you have to have a great intro or hook the viewer. So just like that past example, the video that didn't have great retention, it had that steep drop off in the beginning, was because I didn't hook the viewer in properly. I didn't deliver on my thumbnail and title in the first 30 seconds of the video. So if you have a thumbnail and title that shows I survived the world's quietest room, and it takes a minute or a minute 30 seconds for you to actually talk about what the world's quietest room is, there's a very good chance that people are going to click off that video. So if you have a great hook and a great intro that I survived the world's quietest room, and in the first 5 seconds, you're already in the world's quietest room, you're setting up to survive in there for 45 minutes, people are going to be interested because what they clicked on is what they're getting in the video. So having a great intro to hook the viewer in is one way to keep up high retention. Number 2 is pacing. So what pacing actually means is how quickly your editing is flowing, how much you're keeping the viewer engaged in your video. So you can do this by adding in lots of B-rolls, lots of sound effects, lots of clips, lots of fast cuts, zoom ins, crop outs, crop ins, music. All of those things add into pacing and what keeps your engagement high. If you have high engagement, there's a very good chance that your average view duration is going to stay high because the video is not as boring. If something's changing every second, your video is probably not that boring, which keeps the viewer engaged and it doesn't give them a chance to click out of the video. The second you let up on pacing and engagement, you give the viewer an opportunity to click off your video, which kills your retention. And number 3, it's very simple. It sounds kind of cliche, but make a great video. If you have a really interesting topic and you're interesting in your video and you put a lot of effort into the editing, into getting different film angles, having high quality audio, good lighting, all of the aspects that make a great video, have a really good video idea, that's what's going to keep your retention high and keep people watching. If you just overall have a shitty video, great thumbnail, great title, people click on it, and they watch the first 10 seconds or 30 seconds and they're like, this video is shit, they click off, your average view duration goes down, YouTube doesn't recommend the video, and you lose all those views and that momentum that YouTube algorithm's giving you from people clicking on it. So if you don't have high retention, YouTube will throw you to the back of the bus and you're not going to get any views. So overall, and wrapping this up, basically all you have to do is get more clicks. You have to make people watch the whole video. And if you do those 2 things together, you will have explosive growth on social media. On YouTube. It's a very simple formula, a lot easier said than done, but the greatest YouTuber right now, his name's Jimmy Mr. Beast. This is what he preaches. Get more people to click on your video, make people watch the entire video, and your video will have exponential growth. It's literally as simple as that. So focus on those things that we just spoke about, and you'll be on your way to having a massive, massive YouTube channel. I'm going to show you exactly how I make all of the thumbnails for my YouTube channel, and it's a pretty simple process. It takes time to get better and better, but this is my exact workflow, and it's pretty straightforward. You don't have to be super techie. Like I said, it just takes a little bit of practice. So the website I use to make my thumbnails is canva.com. Now, Canva has a free version, and they do have a paid version. I am on the paid version. I think it's like $10 a month, but you do get a lot of cool features and other graphics, but you can definitely use the free version for this. So I'm going to show you exactly how I created this thumbnail. And you can see I do variations of thumbnails just because I take thumbnails super, super seriously, and you should too, to grow your YouTube channel. But I'm going to show you exactly how I made this thumbnail, which essentially was for this video right here. From depression to $8 million, my story. So in order to make that thumbnail, we're going to start with a clean slate so you can't see anything. So the first thing that you notice here is a big clear image of myself. So that's what you're going to have to start with and get that clear image. I'll teach you how to get such a clear photo and a well-lit photo with minimal gear. You could do this with an iPhone. This was actually taken on an iPhone, believe it or not. So what I like to do is come over to my uploads, right? You obviously bring in the clear image. So you can see this was the original image that I took with my iPhone, and it turned into this. Now, how do we get from that to that? So once you upload the image into Canva, they have this feature called Background Remover. You click it, and it does all the work. It's absolutely amazing. Saves you a lot of time than going with an eraser and doing all that kind of crud. Any day now. Okay, so you can see it clearly removed the background. So we'll make this a little smaller, make this a little smaller. So you can see we're well on our way to that photo. I'll zoom out a little bit. So now we want to properly size it. The thing with YouTube thumbnails that you need to know is they have to be very, very clear. You don't want to overcomplicate them, and you want the message to come across super, super simple. So we'll just put myself pretty big because that is the message I want to convey. It's like, hey, it's me, right? I overcame depression and made $1 million, whatever, made $10 million, whatever it was. So now we got to work on a background, right? So you can come into elements here on Canva and basically type in anything. So you could type in blue sky, and it'll give you a blue sky, right? I'm going to actually try another variation of this thumbnail. Maybe I'll actually use it. So what you do is you click on the image, and you click, you can click Set Images Background. Now you always want to have your background blurry because you don't want to take it away. You don't want to take away from the main image, which is yourself. So you can click on that background image. You can click Edit Image, and then here where you click See All, you can actually adjust the blur. See, so I made it a little bit blurry, so you can tell it's a sky, but not really. I'll make myself a little bit bigger, right? Making thumbnails is all about adjustments. You're going to constantly be tweaking and seeing what looks good, what doesn't. That's why I always make variations. You can see this is a completely different picture, completely different background. So we'll try this background just for an example. Now the next element is text. So you can see it has a nice little text bar here where they actually give you some pre-made texts with your own fonts. I find simple is better for me, right? You got to kind of pick a style. If you come into my channel, relatively, I have a style with more or less the same fonts, right? So I come over back to Canva, and I click text, and I like to just start with a regular text font. What you could do here, once you find a text you like, you can always just copy it and then paste it in. But for example purposes, I'll show you how I get it to look like this. So you can see the font is Open Sauce Semi. So we'll come in here, we'll change the font to Open Sauce Semi Bold. We'll change the color to yellow, and then we'll add that little shadow effect that looks super cool. So if you click on this here, you can see it has an effect, and this is what it looks like. So it's a shadow effect, and it's got some other stuff going. So we'll do a shadow effect. It's got some offsets. It's got some blur. The shadow is going to be black. Let's just click on this. Transparency is all the way up, and blur is at 42. So transparency all the way up. Blur is at 42. And the offset is up a little bit. So the offset is up a little bit. There you go. And then I had the text actually in bold. There we go. Looks a lot better. And then we'll just type in 8 million. So now we just made the text that we wanted. And then we'll put it all the way in the back. So we'll make this bigger. And then I will adjust it. And then I will send it backward. Boom. Perfect. We'll make it a little higher so you can see that M a little bit better. Make it a little bit bigger. There you go. And then we have this one. So it's basically the same font, just smaller. So what I'll do is I'll copy and then paste that. And then I'll put $15. Whoops. $15. We'll make it smaller. And then we'll change it to white, just so it stands out a little bit more. Boom. And then we'll add in this little arrow. So we'll go to elements, and then you can type in arrow. And you can see basically all of these are free. So on Canva, this is free. The ones with these little crowns pro, that's where you upgrade. But again, most of the stuff I use is completely free. So I'll go ahead and throw in this little arrow, turn it there. So we go $15 to 8 million. We'll make it a little smaller. Boom. So you can see the elements of this thumbnail. It's very, very simple. It's very clear. I actually almost like this one a little bit better because that background is a little bit busy. Now you can see here, I edited the colors and stuff on this one. So here you can click on edit. I edited the colors of my face. So you can click edit. You can adjust the brightness. You can adjust the saturation. Clarity is the other one that I'd use just to make it, you can see it kind of sharpens that image. You don't want to over edit it. You still want to make it look a little bit realistic. So that just looks a little bit better. I pop a little bit more. Now, this is something else that I like to do is add this shadow around me. It makes you pop off the background a little bit more. For some reason, my Canva is a little messed up. I don't know why, but check this out. Whenever I do shadows, it removes the coloring of my photo. So I have to take an extra step. I've used 3 other people's Canva and they don't do this. Only mine does. But essentially what I like to do is use the glow, and then you can make it bigger. You can make it a little bit more transparent so it really stands out. And then you can blur it a little bit just to give you that nice little outline so you pop off the background. And there you go. That's the basics of a thumbnail. And you want the thumbnail to clearly convey your message and do it as simple as possible. So I just want to show you some other examples. Right, so I've been testing out some new features, but basically look, is Tesla worth the hype? And I have a little shocked emoji or a shocked word, and I'm in the Tesla. It's gonna take you practice. I'm gonna show you some of my oldest videos that the thumbnails were very, very bad. As you can see, these are really, really bad thumbnails. All of these are just absolutely terrible. But as you go, you get better. See, this one was a little bit better. This one was a little bit better. This one was a little bit better. And you can see I'm starting to get a little bit better. These are still pretty bad. This one's a little bit better. Started working in that shadow feature. I recently just updated this one simply and easily. This one was a little bit better. This one I just updated. This one is, I think, when I started getting a lot better. I started learning, hey, let's make that face the main image. These are a little bit better, a little complicated, but still you can see the progression of how much better it's getting. This one, very simple, very easy. This was a popular thumbnail style, but you can see it's starting to get a lot better. Images are a lot clearer. Text is nice, big, and bold. They're a lot simpler for the most part. The simpler you can make the thumbnail while still conveying your message, the better it's going to be. So I asked Shopify millionaires for business advice. I'm asking this girl. Clearly, she makes $900K. Shocking, right? Here, why you should quit your job. This is conveying that I quit my job. I'm done. So this, again, the simpler you can convey your message, the better that thumbnail is going to perform. And you can see now I would say my thumbnails are getting pretty good. But that is the process of how I make my thumbnail. Just keep practicing. If you're not great in the beginning, I promise you it'll get a lot better as you go. It's taken me over a year to get really, really good at this. Now let's talk about what actually makes a great thumbnail. There's a few different aspects that you can put together, but I've pretty much broken it down to 3 simple steps that you could focus on when making your thumbnails. 3 elements of a fire thumbnail include, it's number 1, simple, It's number 2, it exaggerates something. And number 3, it has conflict or mystery in the thumbnail. So let's dive a little bit deeper into each. A thumbnail being simple means that when someone looks at it, they can understand the message right away. It's simple. It doesn't have a lot of colors. I'd say no more than 3 main colors. And there's few shapes. There's few graphics. It's very simple to look at. That way, when you're scrolling down your feed or a viewer scrolling down their feed and they see it, they can immediately recognize what that video is probably going to be about, right? Keep it as simple as possible. When it's too busy, your eyes get lost and you can't really understand what the video is going to be about. Number 2 is to exaggerate. So you're simplifying, but making an obvious version of the point you're trying to make. So you want, it goes back to simple and then picking back off. Simple, but exaggerate. So if you are scrolling down your feed, you see something that catches your attention, and that's what the exaggeration portion is meant to do, but it's also simplified at the same time. And then having a conflict or mystery in the thumbnail. So when a viewer looks at the thumbnail, they should have a question and be like, hey, what is that? What's happening in that thumbnail? Let me click on it so I can find out why. Now, I think these examples, I'll be able to explain it a little bit more clearly. So Ryan Trahan created this video. I survived the world's quietest room. And he packaged it with this thumbnail. So you can assume the video is going to be that he spent 41 minutes in the world's quietest room, and he looks like he's in some sort of anguish. So it's simple, right? There's 3 main colors, white, black, and orange. Simple. It exaggerates, right? He's in a jumpsuit. It looks like he's held in jail. It looks like he's having a really rough time sitting in a room, right? That's exaggerating something. And there's conflict or mystery. You're thinking, what is the world's quietest room? Why did he have to survive it? Like, is there danger being in the world's quietest room? So it tags onto all 3, and there's a reason that video got 20 million views in just 1 year. Simple, it exaggerated, and it had some conflict or mystery. Mr. Beast, 95 million views. Would you swim the sharks for $100,000? Let's go back to simple. Not a lot of shapes. 3 main colors, white, blue, and the shark is gray. 2 main graphics. It's his simple face and the simple shark. Would you swim with sharks for $100,000? It's clearly exaggerating that he was swimming with a great white. Obviously, there wouldn't be a great white swimming with him. Or conflict or mystery. Is he actually swimming with this great white? So you're scrolling down your feed and you see that video. You're immediately drawn to it because there's a guy next to a great white shark underwater. You're like, holy shit. And then 2, it's like, is he actually swimming with the shark? And if he's offering $100,000, maybe they're actually swimming with great whites. So it tacks onto all 3 of those very well. Just another example. This is Noah Kagan asking super yacht owners how to make $1 million. Very simple in the fact that the text really stands out. So how did you get rich? That's the whole purpose of that video. It's exaggerating because it looks like he's in the ocean asking people on a big yacht, right? The big yacht is the exaggerating portion. Hey, how did you get rich? And the conflict and mystery is, how did these rich people actually buy the boat? So it makes you want to click and find out. Same with Grant Stephan and the $78 Tesla. How did he buy a Tesla for $78? There's a lot of conflict and mystery there. Like, how did he do it? It's simple because there's basically 2-3 colors. There's a big Tesla, $78 Tesla, calling it out, and it's obviously exaggerating because he probably didn't buy a Tesla for $78, but that's pretty interesting, right? You want to see, like, how did he do that? Why did he do that? So these are all great examples of great thumbnails and great titles, and the views all show for it.